Yes, 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 yes. Greetings to everybody in the comments and stuff. Don't adjust your camera. Jeff isn't here today. Hopefully he jumps in at some point. But literally it's just me for the time being. And we're literally just here to watch the Dubois fight, the Dubois, Tommy, Fury, and the other guys on the undercard. The undercard isn't as strong as I thought it would be, but I mean, normally Frank Warren tries to put his undercard like a bit stronger than what he's got right now, but it's not as good. The action hasn't started yet. I think the first fight's supposed to start in the next 15 minutes. I'm not sure, but I'm literally just looking forward to see Daniel Dubois, to be honest, and see how he's recovered from his what's it called? From his eye injury, plus teaming up with Shane McGuigan. But when you come in, literally just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then start commenting. Get your comments in from early. I mean, I see Blunt already in the building. That's the general right there. Let's get it. So shout out. If you're in there, literally hit the like button, hit the comment button. I actually want to see predictions as well. Like obviously Dubois should win, but like in terms of rounds and what you actually want to see from Dubois. But if you're new, definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I mean, today should be pretty straightforward for Dubois because let's keep it real. Bogdan Dinu is a guy who is pretty seasoned and he has fought, you know, I don't want to say top fighters, but fighters that the higher level of the heavyweight division, guys like Pulev, guys like Gerald Miller. So it'd be good to see how Dubois deals with him. I really just want to see how he deals, how him and Shane McGuigan have tried to make adjustments in the short time that he's in. And I'm looking on the screen right now and it's saying it's for the WBA interim world title, which I find quite crazy because I don't know how you come off a loss and all of a sudden you're fighting for an interim world title. You know, that's kind of crazy to me, but you know, that's how boxing politics work. It works quite crazy. I mean, again, we've seen this many times where fighters come off a loss and they already go into a world title fight. So no surprise with Dubois. But I think after the loss, he's much more humble and they're probably going to end up taking it slow. So it'd be a while before we see him with any top competition again. You know, that's basically very unlikely. D Hodges is in the building. What's up, G5, Jeff, panel, and chat? LDVC salute. Shout out to D Hodges. You know, this guy is always following us, always in the comment section. So support Jeff. As I said, he's not in today, but he will be in, like, he's probably watching right now, and he definitely will be in the comment section, or he might even jump in. Let's go. Any sleepers on the card? No, there isn't any sleepers on the card. I don't know what do you mean by sleepers. You have to elaborate what you mean by sleepers. Yeah, Conrad, you're gonna have to elaborate what you mean by sleepers. I literally don't know what that means. I have to elaborate, yeah. But yeah, keep the comments coming. When you come and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, most of you probably the ones you commented already have subscribed. And another thing I want to see Tommy Fury with all the what's it called? With all the celebrity boxing that's going on right now, it'd actually be interesting to see how Tommy Fury goes about it because whilst he's a celebrity and he's known for his antics outside of boxing and his fame comes from outside of boxing, um, he does seem to be taking the sport seriously, at least according to his brother and according to his dad, and he hasn't gone in for money fights or fame fights. He's looked like he's doing what prospects do by taking these journeymen who's going to test, not really test him, but build his confidence up, get him a bit of, get rid of a bit of ring rust, get him used to fighting in the stable professional ranking. Conrad says overlooked fights. Personally, every fight that I saw on the card there was no 50-50s. There was all one-sided fights that was on. So I don't think we're there to expect anything. I feel like the card was literally built on the back of Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois' comeback, and obviously Tommy Fury has like fame outside of the sport. But literally, the card's literally been built on the back of Daniel Dubois. and his comeback, his eye injury, what's going to happen. A lot of people are wondering what's going to happen. I actually think Bogdan Dinu is probably one of the better matchups for Dubois on a comeback, because he's not really going to trouble him or scare him, but he's going to give him a few rounds, or I hope he gives him a few rounds, and he's going to test him in some aspects, and we're going to be able to see what adjustments Dubois has made. What I want to know is what people think of the link up between him and Shane McGuigan, because my opinions are quite, they're quite turbulent, but I actually want to see what other people's opinions are in terms of what they think about him linking up with Bogdan Dinu, and whether they feel like it's a good, not Bogdan Dinu, him linking up with Shane McGuigan, and whether they feel like that's a good fit or not a good fit. Conrad Boxing says Dinu is quite decent technically. Yeah, he's a veteran, so he knows how to protect himself. He knows how to get through rounds. He knows how to survive. He's not a massive puncher, but he does have good fundamentals. He had an extensive amateur career, a lot of fights on the way up, and a lot of fights that people don't know about. I feel like a lot of people look past it because every time he stepped up to, whether it was B level or C level, whatever you want to look at it, he's lost. But he is gonna be able to take him on expose or hopefully expose some of the tricky things that or worries that we were having about Dubois. Well, Conrad Boxing says, would be interesting to see Danny Dubois go 12 rounds, but probably won't happen. Yeah, it will be interesting to see, because I haven't really seen his gas tank tested properly. Even though he fought Joyce, I wouldn't say his gas tank was tested because the pressure wasn't that high fight. I still question how his gas tank is. I remember the Larty fight, and he was like trying to go for the fight pretty early. I even remember the Kajani fight, even though he got him up pretty early, he did have to pace himself after, going out for such a big blitz. Being humble, I want to see whether he's going to try and box, whether he's going to take his time, whether he's going to go for it. There's a fight on right now, Muhammad's fighting. I mean, I think, if I'm correct, this is his pro debut. I've heard a bit about him from like the gyms and stuff. A lot of people have spoken about him because he trains in, I can't remember what gym he trains in, but I can't remember who I heard was talking about him, but they said he's a fighter to look out for. He's already fighting with a low guard. He looks pretty confident, so it'll be interesting to see, how Frank Warren likes to build up his prospects. He likes to give them, chance to express themselves, but also give them put them on good fight cards. He won't put them in any tough fights like how Eddie Hearn would do. Eddie Hearn kind of throws his fighters into the deep end and sink or swim kind of thing, whereas Frank Warren kind of likes to build fighters up. But he's looking clean. He's looking sweet. He does fight with the hands low. It's interesting to see how his career goes forward. But yeah, to answer your question, Conrad, it would be interesting to see him go 12 rounds, but I doubt it would happen. I feel like if it does go 12 rounds, it'll be pretty. I'll question a lot of Daniel Dubois' recovery and his confidence in himself, because after a loss like that, a humbling defeat, you really want a performance that's going to give you back confidence in yourself. Going 12 rounds with Bogdan Dinu isn't going to give you the confidence that you might necessarily need moving forward. But he's a young kid, so he's going to do well moving forward. Mama needs to keep his hands a little bit higher because he almost got caught with a shot there. But it seems like this is just a tick-over fight, so it's not a fight that's going to really cause much trouble. But he does look like he's got good skills and a good foundation. He's got them slapping punches as well. It'd be good to see him turn his wrist over onto the punch so his knuckles are hitting the punches. Conrad's back in the comment section. Conrad says, I don't know, getting through a tough fight could be what he needs. I mean, I'm more looking at it from a mental perspective, from a confidence perspective. He's a young guy, so when you lose, you need something to boost your confidence back up. I don't feel like he needs a tough fight. I feel like he needs to build confidence. I feel like tough fights will come. I just feel like he needs to find find his style, what he feels comfortable with, find something efficient and effective. One thing we saw about Dubois before was Dubois didn't have the defensive skills that we knew was going to get exposed later down the line, and didn't have defensive posture or defensive mindset. We don't want him to go completely in his shell, but we still want him to be defensively responsible. But at the same time, he's an aggressive fighter, so he still needs to be aggressive. He still needs to be going forward, getting the knockouts. If he kind of goes out there and just throws all of his aggression out and just tries to go 12 rounds, then I don't think that's what, even if he doesn't try to go 12 rounds, let's say in a hypothetical world, he goes out there and tries to get the knockout. Even in a situation like that, I feel, and he tries to get the knockout and he doesn't get it, I feel like that's only going to look bad on him, because that's not going to give him the confidence that he needs moving forward. Conrad says, what does he learn from knocking people out in 2 rounds? I personally don't feel like he should be trying to do that. Me personally, I feel like his approach should be similar to what Eubank done. Not in the sense that he was in the performance, but in the sense that Eubank could have got Morrison out in the 3rd round, 2nd round, but he took his time and he was actually trying certain stuff. I'm not saying it was effective or not effective, or it would work forward or what. I'm not even questioning its efficiency, but you can see that there was a level of intent to try different stuff. I want to see him try certain stuff today. I want to see him try and develop. Maybe Shane McGuigan's got him in a different stance. Maybe he's got him fighting much more close range or mid range. I don't know what they've been working on, but I want to see something. I agree with you 100%. I don't think you should go out there and try to bang him out. If I see that, then it'd be like you're back to square one. You didn't really learn much of your lesson. But in terms of what I want to see moving forward, I don't want to see him go 12 trying to get a knockout and then his confidence is shattered, because that's one of the things that can happen. Pink Fairy Goddess says, hi, hon. Shout. It's good to see you in the comment section. Yeah, while this Muhammad fight's going, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I don't see anything special about him, but he definitely has the confidence. Whoa, he got caught with a good shot there. But again, he's fighting a journeyman, so this guy's probably not got the sting. He's probably not got the heart to try and stop him. And at this weight class, it's really down to just displaying your skill level. You can't even say go out there and bang him out, because they don't have the same concussive punch power that you see at the higher weight classes. So it's literally just showing your skill level. He's getting backed up now, so it'd be good to see how he gets him off him. He's using good lateral movement, good head movement, keeps his hands very low. You can see this guy's watched a lot of, he must have watched a lot of Sugar Ray Leonard or something, because he's got that low stance. D Hodges says, shake my head. Triple D cost me $200 versus Joe Joyce. Beat him with a jab, shake my head, crow pie. That's funny. The thing is, D Hodges, I was going back and forth with that fight. Jeff picked Joe Joyce from the start. I picked Daniel Dubois, then I fought Joe Joyce, then I fought Daniel Dubois last minute. And I still feel like, the thing is, I've always had question marks about Daniel Dubois. I've always thought his defensive deficiency was always going to get exposed. His engine was going to get exposed. And the fact that he's a one-paced fighter, against anyone with a certain level of boxing skill, they were going to expose him. But majority of the time, he fights fighters who were intimidated by him, and when they get hit, they're overwhelmed with a flurry of punches. Whereas Joe Joyce, experienced, he has confidence in himself, and he was going in there to win, and not just win, but he was so confident in what he was doing, and it's like he read Daniel Dubois' game plan. He knew what was happening, and he just kind of just took the rough with the smooth. In the first few rounds, he took the rough, and then at the back end of the fight, it started to even out, and he started to take over. And I feel like, to be fair, as you said, he beat him on a jab, and that's just basically down to it. He was so prolific and precise with where he was placing his punches. He didn't waste anything, and he knew Dubois' enthusiasm and his aggression and his youthfulness would be his downfall down the back end, because really and truly, he was just walking into shots. Conrad said, you think that That is bad v Hodges. I lost $20 on Lucas Brown when he got KO'd against that rugby player in 1 round. Well, I don't know, man. Lucas Brown is a weird one. He's a guy who I remember when he came back off his drug ban and he fought Dylan White. You know, he was on a high. You know, at that time, I remember he won the WBA title against Chagayev after being all over the floor in that fight. He came back and won. I remember the Towers fight. He was all over the floor in that fight and he won. So it's difficult to say, man. This guy, after the Dylan White fight, it's fair to say he's never looked the same. I mean, what's his name knocked him out? What's that guy? Dave Allen knocked him out, and then from then it's just been a downhill for his career. The general says, send me a link. Blunt, I would have to leave the live to get the link to send it to you. Literally, how it happened was I got the login. I logged in. Jeff already had set up the live, so I've already logged in. So the only way I can actually get the link is if Jeff, hopefully you can message him privately and Jeff just puts the link in the chat. But there's no other way for me to actually get the link to send it to you. Apologies. But you can literally just message Jeff. Jeff has been pretty responsive on his phone. So message Jeff and Jeff will put the link in the comment section. I hope Jeff is watching, by the way. But yeah, for those who are in the comment section, literally just hit the like button, hit the share button. Yeah, Blunt, that's basically what's happened, man. I literally just jumped in and it was planned, but I literally completely forgot about asking for the link beforehand. Normally Jeff sends me the link and then I click in, but this time I had to log in because obviously I knew Jeff wasn't going to be here. So I had to just log in and then go into the live. That's kind of how it was. But yeah, if you want to hit Jeff up and Jeff should send it to you or put in the comment section, just message him. He's been pretty responsive today. I literally just spoke to him like maybe 15 minutes ago. Yeah, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button. There's 13 people in the live so far. Hopefully we get that number higher, but let's hope we get 13 likes, get some more guys in the comment section. As I said, I'd like to see what people think of Tommy Fury as well. To American fight fans, they might not know so much about Tommy Fury's career and where he's been and how he's got where he is. To American fight fans, he might just be known as Tyson Fury's brother, but in England, he kind of got a lot of star power and a following because he was on a reality TV show in England and it was like one of the highest rating shows. I even think he won the reality TV show. I'm not sure. Those in the comment section might correct me. And he's been in, and ever since then, his fame has just gone from strength to strength to strength. And I guess his outside of boxing fame has overtaken his boxing, but he does want to take boxing serious. So he's got that, he's kind of working backwards, whereas normal fighters try to build up their career, then they go to fame, whereas he's already got a fame, so now he's trying to build up his career. It'll be interesting to see his mentality moving forward, you know, what weight class he's going to fight at moving forward. You know, is he going to be light heavyweight, cruiserweight, and at what level does he want to fight at? You know, he's going to be able to get fights pretty easy because he's going to bring a certain level of money, but he has to feel confident within himself. He's not been a professional for long enough, and his focus and his priorities haven't been boxing for long enough. So we'd have to see how it goes moving forward. This Mohammed guy's back in Cash Up pretty well, but as I said, there's not much coming back from him as we expect as a journeyman. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather tomorrow night. Well, I won't be watching that fight because I just won't be watching that fight, but many people have like problems with that, especially hardcore fans. Hardcore fans would be like, oh, that's not real boxing. I feel like boxing is, you know, if you're a hardcore fan, you focus on hardcore fights. That fight isn't designed or catered for people like me and you. It's catered for the wider public, you know, people who like to have their imagination and think about, you know, these fantasy fights, you know, just for fun, for entertainment, I guess. So I don't really pay attention to it because it's like, I will never knock someone for making money. Neither would I knock someone for liking and finding that entertaining. I don't find it entertaining, but it's like people have different genres of music or movies, and I don't necessarily like it, but I'm not gonna disregard somebody else who does like it. So if they find it entertaining, go ahead. But I personally won't be watching that fight. Pick very good. It'd be interesting to see if you'll be watching that fight, because over here it's gonna be like 5 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning. Like, I don't know anybody who's gonna be staying up to watch that. But yeah, but hit the like button and the subscribe button for those who haven't. Yeah, as I'm literally just watching this fight. It's the 4th round. It's the last round. I haven't been overly impressed with Muhammad. He's got a good lateral movement, and you can tell he's got confidence. But other than that, he's not really shown me much. I thought I would be impressed with what I was seeing. I'm not. I mean, he's early in his career. He can work on a lot of stuff, but you know, I would have thought he would have been able to back this dude up a bit more. You know, maybe put a little bit more behind his punches. He's relying a lot on head movement and not so much on catching punches and defending himself. He lot on lateral movement as well. Muhammad got his chin higher than the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I mean, his defense is solely lateral movement and head movement. He's not relying on anything other than that. You know, he's not trying to get his head off the line. He's not trying to block punches. He's just trying to use his hands and his feet and his head movement. And he is slick. You can tell he's got confidence in his ability to avoid punches. But I think that's where it ends, to be honest. I thought his punch selection was pretty open and wide. I think everything else has been pretty mediocre, to be honest. I wasn't overly impressed, but he's young. He's probably going to end up improving as time goes on, and he's with the right guy. Frank Warren likes to build his prospects up decent. You know, he's going to put him in the right fights at the right time, and eventually probably going to put him in at British level, then European level. Then if he's good enough, he'll be at world level, and we'll see it from there. But I don't know, man. From what I saw, he didn't scream wow to me. Let's put it that way. He didn't scream wow to me. It'll be interesting to see what you thought about it, Conrad, because I didn't think wow from watching that. Yeah. And I don't even know what's the next fight. Someone put in the comment section what the next fight is. I don't know. I literally have no idea what the next fight is. But yeah, for those who are new, literally this is not the normal panel. The main enforcer is Jeff. Jeff ain't here at the moment. I hope maybe he might comment at one stage, maybe, I don't know, but he's not here. We're literally just watching the Daniel Dubois undercard, and I think that was the first fight down. Obviously, Muhammad won 4 rounds to 0, so be looking forward to the next fight. George Bantz versus Des Newton. It's another very, very poor matchup to me. I feel like, again, like, it depends on what Frank Warren was intending to achieve from this. I feel like BT Sports have been running at a loss ever since being with Frank Warren. So he probably doesn't have the finance to have stacked undercards, but the condition of British boxing is pretty poor. You know, I don't remember the last good card I watched, probably other than the Chisora Parker card, but that was pay-per-view. And for Chisora and Parker to be a headline on a pay-per-view is pretty poor as well. So that tells you everything you need to know. Another prospect versus journeyman. Yeah, I saw that on the when I was doing my research for the fight. I wasn't over necessarily entertained by, like, nothing on the card screamed wow to me. So yeah, I had the card up today, and I just thought could have been better if he had a, you know, I would have liked to see at least one 50-50 fight. You know, personally, a person I would have loved to see on this card would have been Umar Shadiq. I would have loved to see him after his fight against Chudinov, even if we're gonna say he's not in a 50-50 fight, just to get him back out there. It would have been good to see. It would have been good to see him back out. You know, he hasn't had a fight since that Chudinov fight. I think that was sometime last year. So it'd been in fact, I think Umar Shadiq came back Someone correct me, because I think he might have had a fight since then. Someone correct me. Yeah, but it would have been good to see him on this card as well. At least those are only 4 rounders. Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is probably going to be a quick undercard. Tommy Fury, I think, is the 4th fight on, or the 5th fight on. I don't know. I'm hoping that the fights are at least entertaining, a good scrap and stuff like that. I mean, that's one thing about that Eddie Hearn's undercards. They're really entertaining. I mean, the panel, you got the normal guys on the panel. You got Carl Froch, and I don't really like Carl Froch as a pundit. So I got the television on mute, so I'm not even trying to listen to that. Yo, bro, I'm a Man United fan who's new to boxing. Yeah, you're at the right place, bro. I'm a United fan. I'm not a proud United fan right now, obviously not. But if you're new to boxing, the guys in the comment section will tell you this is how our channel works. Normally, we'd have the full panel. Sometimes we'll have Blunt on or other guys on. The general, and we'll have Jeff on, who's obviously this is his channel, G5 Jeff TV. He's not here at the moment, but literally stay here. We cover literally every fight or every major fight, so we're quite versatile with it. And if you're new to boxing, this is the right place to be, because we not only try to school, but we try to learn. And if you have an opinion, we literally will send you the link and give you a chance to speak and voice your opinion on the platform. Literally, that's how our channel works. So if you, as you said, you're new to boxing, if you're a fan of the sport and you want to continue being a fan of the sport, or you want to get to know the sport from a more low-key level and a hardcore level, this is the right place to be. I ain't buying that crap. Floyd versus Paul, shake my head. I mean, I don't know how they've tried to sell it, but I know people will be buying it, because it's going to appeal to so much people other than me and UD Hodges. Like, we want to see like real fights, well, real hardcore matches, and that's kind of like a pantomime. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'll watch the replays tomorrow. I might not even watch the replays, bro. I'll keep it real. I might not even watch the replays. Is this where I can watch the Dubois fight? So you won't be able to watch the Dubois fight. We'll get copyright infringement, but it's a watch along. So you'll be able to watch the fight and basically put in your comments. Or if you want to get an opinion off, sometimes you send you the link, give you a chance to jump on the panel and get your opinion off. That's literally very simple. But in terms of being able to watch the fight, no, because we'll get a copyright strike, obviously. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Saif Alkabi. I think that's how to pronounce it. Apologies if I'm saying it wrong. That Muhammad kid looks like a decent boxer. Yeah, he looks confident, and he looks like he has confidence in his ability. He's got definitely good understanding of distance, but there's a few things that I would have personally wanted to see him improve. Like getting his chin down, as Conrad said. He can fight with his hands down, but sometimes try and catch punches. Sometimes get your hands a bit higher. Don't just rely on lateral movement as defense. And I would like to see him get at least a deterrent in terms of his offense. You know, it seemed like for the whole fight, he wasn't able to get a journeyman off him. It would be good to see him try and go forward and push the opponent backwards. You know, that would be good. You know, it'd be good for him to watch fighters like a Tevin Farmer and stuff like that, who use lateral movement and head movement, but they also use their hands to catch punches as well. And fighters who are able to push their opponents back. Tevin Farmer isn't that fighter, but there are fighters who are out there who've got great defense, but are also able to relieve some of the pressure by taking steps forward, pushing their opponent backwards. I think there is also a big music show. I have no idea, and I don't even know if they're talking about the Floyd fight or this fight, but I have no idea. I would literally not know. I'm the last person to ask. But yeah, Saif, I hope I answered your question. For those in the comments, hit the like button. And I want to hear everybody's opinion on what they think of Tommy Fury, what they think his ceiling is in the sport, or do they want to see more from him? Because there's a lot that we've seen from There's a lot we've seen from his dad and his brothers talking about where he's going to be going forward. And it'd be interesting to see how serious he's taking it, because he's making money outside of the sport. So his motives and his aspiration is a bit different to the standard fight. You know, he doesn't need to chase fame because he's already famous. He doesn't need to chase money because he's already rich. So what is his motivations now? You know, it'd be interesting to see how he moves forward in his career. There's another fight on right now. I literally don't. Saif Alkabi says, are Tommy Fury and Tyson Fury related? Yeah, so Tommy Fury is Tyson Fury's little brother. I don't know if you know this, but Tommy Fury, I said it earlier, Tommy Fury was known from what's that show, Love Island or something, which is a reality TV show in England. And he gained a lot of followers. Like the general public in the UK know him. You should know because I think you're from the UK, at least I think so. But yeah, they're brothers. King Louis in the building. Shout out to King Louis. What's good, bro? Just watching that Daniel Dubois, Bogdan Dinu fight, just watching these undercards. Hopefully, I get entertained a little bit. I haven't been entertained so far, but we'll see how it goes, man. About to watch the second fight. Oh, it's not, bro. I thought it was Conrad. I thought it was George Bunce fighting next, but it's Slakaev versus Davis. This might actually be a I want to say interesting fight, because this dude's taken, looks like 38 losses, but it'd be an interesting fight in the sense that Davis is a dude who he's been highly touted for a while, but the problem I have about this guy is he's always been on filler shows, like as a filler card, so we've never really got to see him properly. So this is probably the first time I've seen him live. I know I've seen people speak about him. In fact, I'm lying. I actually saw him live in person. I think he had a fight before COVID, and I think that was at the York, and I actually saw him live there. I think I was working at that fight as well. I'm from Dubai. Oh, cool. That's dope. I was supposed to be in Dubai for the Carl Frampton, what's it called? Carl Frampton Jamel Herring fight. Didn't get to make it due to COVID and stuff, but I got invited to go to that fight as well. So salute from Dubai. Conrad, oh, Davis is fighting now. My card schedule is wrong. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was the same thing as well. I thought Davis was I didn't know Davis was fighting now neither. Nobi, shout out to Nobi. It seems like you're new as well. I've not seen your name before. If you are new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Nobi says, is Liam Davis on this card? Yeah, he's fighting right now. He's fighting right now against Slavachev. I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of him. I won't even lie to you. Never heard of Slavachev. But the fight started pretty interesting. I see Davis getting in behind the jab, and this is what I'm talking about. Mohammed, I wanted to see, you're fighting a journeyman. Try to be on the front foot, keep a bit of distance. Davis is looking clean, keeping the distance, backing him up. He's got the journeyman on the back foot like he's supposed to. He's using his hands to defend as well. I like this. This is what I want to see more. You know, try to be a bit more assertive. You don't have to be like stupidly aggressive, but be a bit more. Oh, that was a good shot. That was a very good shot. He's getting great extension on his punches as well. I'm actually liking this Davis fight. He's very upright though, very European. Got that very European upright, long arm style. You know, I would love to see how this guy tests him on the inside, because he looks like he's got very long arms. So, ooh, that's a good shot. That's a very good shot. Yeah, this guy's backing him up. Good time. My man Blaze Philly, what's good? Blaze Philly, what's good, bro? My man Shane, what's good, bro? What we talking about today? Now we're just covering the Danny Dubois undercard, live watch along. So we're literally just watching along right now. It's Davis fighting against another journeyman, but he's impressing me so far. I'm liking what he's doing very much. Liking what he's doing. I think this is his 9th fight, so that's good. Chef Post, I don't know who that is, but thanks for telling me. What's it called? Whoa, he's getting backed up. He is getting backed up, and he's dropped him. He's dropped him. As I'm saying, he's getting good extension behind these punches. Davis in the first round, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, he's got him on the ground. Getting good extension behind the punches. He's keeping distance, and he's keeping the guy behind a good jab and a good straight right hand. You know, he's making sure he's getting extension. He's making sure the guy's at the end of his punches, and he's not getting on the inside. He's really being assertive with that jab, assertive with the straight right hand, and he's making sure the guy isn't getting close. And even when he's finished punching, you can see he's jumping right back on the back foot to make sure he's maintaining that distance. But this is great offensive. This is what I talk about, a fighter where they're offensive, but they're still a long range fighter. A fighter while he's got him down again, pushing him back with that jab, straight right hand, keeping the fight long. This is what I want to see more from British fighters. You know, keeping the fight long behind the good, a good jab and good straight right hand, long arms, long arms and good extension. Blaze Philly says, what channel is the fight on? I don't know what it is in America. It could be on, I don't know. I wouldn't even know. I don't even know if it's on in America. But in England, it's on BT Sports. If you want to watch the fight, there's a good, there's a website called Vitbox. That's a good place to stream. Vitbox.se, good place to stream fights. But yeah, that's a good, if you want to watch the fight, that is. But I think we're like 4 fights away from the main event, to be honest. But yeah, this guy is backing him up. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing, to be honest. Very impressed, because even when the guy's trying to throw in a comeback, he's still making sure he's out of range but landing punches. I find that fantastic. You know, long range pressure fighting. This is a forgotten. It's a forgotten. What's it called? Forgotten skill in boxing nowadays. A lot of guys don't do this anymore. This is kind of like how Lennox used to fight, you know, behind a long jab, long straight right hand, or even Vitali. Vitali used to fight like this as well. Push guys back with a good, strong, straight right hand. He's got him. He's got him. This guy isn't going to last much longer. He's going to take him out. Even with the uppercut, he tried to land to the body. He got his head off the line, which is good. He's really going for the kill now. Yeah, he's down. I think this is it. Very entertaining fight, Conrad. Very entertaining, and I'm impressed. You know who he fights like, Conrad? He fights like Willie Hutchinson. He fights a lot similar to that, where he's got that long, wiry style when he likes to get fighters at the end of his punches, but he's a pressure fighter. You know, when a fighter's fighting off the back, off the front foot, but he's still keeping the fight long. That's basically the type of fighter he is. Yeah, the fight's over. Fight's over. He's basically been dominant from the first minute of the round, from the first second of the fight. Sorry, what it called the stream? It's called Vitbox. So Edward Romaine, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, it's called VIPBOX.SE. Type that into your laptop or your computer or your phone. You should be able to watch it. I kind of use that for fights that's in America, that's not live in England. Conrad Boxing says, I see what you're saying and what you mean. I like the style too, but is rate? I think you say, but is rate. Yeah, I mean, I like the style a lot. I'm very impressed with what I saw, to be honest. If I'm being honest, I'm very impressed with that. You know, that back foot, that front foot, aggressive, long range fighting. You know, you need long arms and good dimensions for it, but you need very good understanding the distance, which is not easy. But he seems to do it very well. You know, even when he's being aggressive, he's still out of range. So anything on the comeback, he ain't getting hit with. You can also search for BT Sports live stream free. No, but the difference with that, Conrad, is I don't think that is in America. Correct me if I'm wrong. Conrad says rare. Yeah, it's very rare. Blaze Philly says, I just found it on Facebook. Lol. Yeah, man, if you can find it on Facebook, literally watch it on Facebook. If you know what you can do, Blaze Philly, put the link for the Facebook in the comments. That'll be good for those who actually do want to watch the fight and are in America. That's what I hate about boxing. D Prince, you seem new. If you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Who's fighting now? It was Davis. He was just fighting now, and he just came with a good win. Liam Davis just came off with to a good win, second round stoppage. Obviously a journeyman. This is his ninth fight, but he looked really good, really explosive, and he impressed me. I was impressed with what I saw anyway. I thought he boxed quite clean and quite strong and assertive. He really showed me. And again, I think he fights very similar to Willie Hutchinson. You know, that long range front foot fight. That's kind of how I saw it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Blaze Philly's put the link in the chat. So for those who want to watch the fight live, go to that link and you'll be able to watch the fight live. Yeah, I mean, Conrad, it'd be interesting. Who on your fight card is fighting next? Because I literally can't. It's not. I can't. I don't know if my order is 100% correct, because I thought Buns was supposed to be fighting next, but he wasn't. So it'd be interesting to see who's fighting next. To be honest, who you had on your list fighting next? I hope Liam Davis moving forward. And I hope he gets some good fights. I mean, I think he's ready for at least a British level fight. He's in a division was a killer division though, a very tough division. If I remember correctly, I think he was bantamweight. Bantamweight is a division full of killers. We literally just saw what Nonito Donaire done to Obadi last week. So that's a division full of killers. So obviously he has to move him carefully. But as I said, Frank Warren's a guy who likes to move his opponent, his fighters very smartly and carefully. Don't really want to. I want to hear what you're saying, but I don't want to take this off mute because it might have feedback onto the live. Okay, so Aguiarco, I think no, I don't think that's the next fight. On my list, it says Tommy Fury's supposed to be next, but I don't think that's the truth because I think Tommy Fury is the co-main event. But on the list that I was looking at, it said Tommy Fury was third. I don't know, correct? I definitely don't think that's correct. You could be right, but on the list I'm saying it says Tommy Fury's next. I hope Tommy Fury is next, by the way, because I actually want to see him before I see Dubois. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that Dubois fight as well because, again, their whole eye injury and stuff like that. Blaze, it'll be good to see. I don't have the volume up on my device what I'm watching it on because I don't want it to feedback. But Blaze, let me know if they're saying what they're saying, whoever's fighting next. So I can't really see who's fighting next. Like, it's not my fight schedule is completely off. It's completely wrong. But yeah, it'd be good to see who Liam Davis fights next. I mean, I was impressed with that performance. I feel like what I would want to see him do is I want to see him fight someone who does push him backwards a bit, because he does keep when he's up close, he doesn't do what normal long range wiry fighters do. He doesn't hold. He still likes to swing it out. And just basic physics, when you have longer arms than your opponent, it can sometimes takes longer for your punches to land up close, you know, because it has a further distance to travel. So it'd be good to see him get a fight against someone who's going to be pushing him backwards, fight against someone who's going to be fighting on the inside, really testing his inside game, testing his punch resilience, testing his defense, because that's probably the next step for someone like Davis, you know, testing his punch resilience and his overall boxing skills. I mean, I literally really want to hear what Carl Froch is saying, but I don't want to take the thing off me.
Anything? I don't know yet. I don't really know. From that performance, it was one-sided, but we need to see him against better opposition before he fights in McGregor. or a Farouk, or a McCann even. So
okay, so yeah, they were briefly speaking. Frampton was briefly speaking about who he wants him to fight. And yeah, he needs to make a step up. But I was impressed with that. So that's literally he couldn't do any better than what he done today. He literally couldn't do any better. It was an entertaining fight. He got it done quick. And when you're at that stage of your career, you don't really want to be wasting time on journeyman. You know, you kind of want to be getting out. You want to be active. You want to be fighting as frequently and as often as possible. A fight like that didn't take much out of you, so you should be looking to get out in a couple months' time. You know, and I don't know, another undercard against a higher level of opponent. You know, Shane McGuigan's there. Shane McGuigan's talking about Danny Dubois. Personally, I'm not so sold on this link up between Danny Dubois and Shane McGuigan. I mean, Shane McGuigan's a good trainer, and I've seen what he's done with other British fighters, but his style, what I've seen, one of the most consistent things I've seen about Shane McGuigan is he likes fighters to fight with distance, long range, one arm out. You know, he doesn't really train walk down fighters who like to walk their opponents down. He trains fighters who like to keep distance, like to keep the range, like to fight at long range. And whilst Dubois does have a very good jab, his lateral movement isn't that great. You know, when I saw him train Groves, one of the things I saw dramatically change was Groves wasn't so comfortable on the inside. And we already know Lawrence Okoli's not comfortable on the inside. And instead of him correcting that, I just feel like he's made him a much better long-range fighter, which is fantastic. He's improved Lawrence Okoli's long-range fighting. But I want to know how that's going to fit with someone like a Dubois, who's a normal come-forward, goal-getting type fighter. You know, he's a normal fighter who goes forward, uses his strength, tries to be physically imposing. It'd be interesting to see how that style fits, because whilst we know he does have defensive deficiencies, he's still aggressive. So you don't want to get rid of that. You want him to stay aggressive. You want him to still be confident in his ability. Yeah, but anyone in the comment section, hit the like button, hit the and drop your comments. It'd be interesting to see what people think about the last fight and what they thought about the last fight. Conrad says, I want a Daniel Dubois who lets his hands go. His combinations are his best skills by far, in my opinion. Yeah, really and truly, he's a boxer, and he's a fighter. He's a fighter who invests a lot in his hands. He's very strong, very explosive, very powerful. You know, he's got power in both hands. He's got good punch variety. So really and truly, you want to see that skill, but you still want to see him defensively responsible. You don't want to just see him walking there, just letting his hands go and not worrying about what's coming back at him, because that's what got him in the problems in the first place. Not even just in the Joe Joyce fight. I remember the Latte fight when he was swinging it out and his leg done a little bit of a dance. You know, you want at that higher level, you can't just be overly aggressive. You have to be responsible as well. I didn't even see the last fight. But yeah, Blaze, I would say try and watch it if you can, because it was a good fight, and Liam Davis literally looked as impressive as you can against that level of opposition. Nico Singh says, who is fighting next? Nico Singh, you seem new, so if you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I don't know, I'm trying to find out. I'm literally trying to find out who's fighting next. Right now, as it stands, I'm just seeing them talk about Dubois, but I don't know who's fighting next, to be honest. I have no idea whatsoever who's fighting next. I mean, I hope maybe Conrad says, who did Conrad say he was fighting next? 1 second, let me see who Conrad said was fighting next. Can't even remember. But yeah, Conrad put in the I don't know who's fighting next, Nico Singh. Blaze Philly says, I saw the highlights. It seemed like a blowout. Yeah, it was a blowout, but I liked how he done it. I like how he okay. Okay, so it is. I got Agayoko fighting. Oh, you know what? You know what? I've seen him fight live as well. I've seen him fight live as well. I've seen Ayoko fight live, and to me, to me, he's gonna be exciting because he likes to fight pretty open. So it'll be interesting to see how he fights. Conrad, it'd be interesting to see how he fights because he fights pretty open. I don't know too much about his opponent, but I know he fights open. According to your schedule, yeah, it came up on this on BT Sports that he was fighting next, but he was still in the dressing room, so I don't know what's happening. Yeah, Nico Singh, shout out to Conrad for that. But it'd be interesting to see how he fights, because not only does he fight open, he fights pretty aggressive, so he does give him his opponent. What fight? I think, what card did I see him on live? Was it the undercard of Spellman? Did I see him on the undercard of Spellman and who was that dude? Shaq Pitters. I think I saw him fight live at the Your Call. Him on the undercard of Shaq Pitters. Or I saw him on the MTK Global show in Liverpool. I can't remember, but one of the I've definitely seen that dude live. I've definitely seen this dude live. Can't remember where or when it was. Can't remember what fight it was. It either 2 or 3 years ago. I can't consciously remember, but I saw him fight live. Or at least I think I saw it. I think I saw him fight live. But tell me what you think of him, Conrad. What you think of Agayako, how he fights. I don't know too much about his opponent, but tell me how you think the fight's gonna go and how you expect the fight to be. You know, it'll be interesting to see whether he tries to go in there and get some rounds out, or he tries to bang him out, tries to go for the knockout. He's a very open fighter, from what I remember anyway. He's a fighter who likes to fight with a wide stance, bang with his opponent, get in there and really be aggressive and really put his foot forward. From what I remember, again, I could be completely wrong. So we're about to see it literally, but it'd be interesting to see how that fight goes as well. Yeah, for those in the comments, hit the like button, hit the share button, and yeah, just let me know what you think about the upcoming fights, the Dubois fight, the Tommy Fury fight, and who you would like to see him fight next. Do you think Dubois would ever be a top 5 heavyweight? He is only 23, so there is a good chance. Do you think he will ever face the top 5 heavyweights right now? Well, he's got a lot of work to do, and I feel like after that fight, he's going to have to move very smart, and they're going to have to move him carefully. You know, they can't just go out there and put him in there with the likes of a AJ Wilder, Fury, or even the likes of a Dylan White, because they were trying to move him pretty fast before, but I think now they're going to be a bit smarter with it and be careful with who they match him up against. I think Bogdan Dinu is a very good matchup for a comeback. After this fight, I would actually like to see him fight like a Robert Helenius, or even someone like a who else, a Marius Wack. Someone who's going to test him, but not test him to the point where he's going to lose confidence in himself. Do I think he'll be a top 5 heavyweight? He could, because he's young. You know, he's 23. He might hit his peak at 30. That's 7 years' time. By that time, Deontay Wilder, Dylan White, Tyson Fury, AJ, they will all be out of the game by then. We don't know who's going to emerge. We could see maybe, I think Tony Yoke will be around there, Efia Jagba. You know, you still got Anderson. He's literally someone I really rate, so he's going to be there as well. So it'll be interesting to see where his career goes moving forward, because he is a young kid, as you said, but it's basically how Frank Warren wants to move him. I would personally move him slower, because he does have time on his side, and he has just come off a career-threatening loss, career-threatening injury. There's no point putting him in there with a Dylan White. There's no point putting him in there with a Derek Chisora. I would even put him in there with a Derek Chisora or a Michael Hunter someone who has a good chance of beating him. You know, he's not in a rush. He doesn't have to rush. He's got time on his side. So really want to polish his game, make sure he's fighting guys who's gonna make him work on certain stuff while he's with Shane McGuigan. Work on his defense, work on his foot movement, work on his hand placement, work on his gas tank, build confidence in his ability to go forward, go backwards. That's what I want to see. You know, stuff like that. A guy like Bogdan, very good matchup. A guy like Robert Helenius or Marius Wack, another good fight that would be good to make. You know, even a Dimitrenko. I haven't seen Dimitrenko fight since the Andy Ruiz loss, but even a Dimitrenko would be a good fight. And I know people might say that's a step back from a Joe Joyce or Nathan Gorman and stuff like that. Nathan Gorman and stuff like that. But it's the fights that's going to test him to work on certain skills. He's not going to be able to go out and bang out Marius Wack in 5 rounds. He's going to have to really work on certain stuff in that fight. Robert Helenius is another person who, whilst he's got defensive deficiencies, Robert Helenius has got good punch power. So he's a guy who's got ambition and punch power, who's going to make Daniel Dubois work on his defense. So he can't just go in there and walk Robert Helenius down, because if he doesn't, he's going to end up in a similar situation to what he was in against Joe Joyce. Maybe not to the sense where he will lose, but he might get, his eyes might get tested again, and he might have to work on his defense. You know, and I feel like it's a bit, everybody's talking about his defense after the fact. I feel like this has always been a problem, but when you keep winning by knockout, you believe that hype. And then you lose all of a sudden, and it's a massive fall from grace. And the guy you look in the mirror doesn't, the guy you see in the mirror, that you don't recognize him. You never thought you could lose. That thought of invincibility is gone now. You don't think you're an invincible fighter anymore. Conrad says, I suspect he goes for a stoppage, but don't really know his opponent. I don't know his opponent neither. I don't know his opponent at all. So it'll be interesting to see how that fight goes. He's going to be aggressive, though. I know that for a fact. He's going to try and impress. You know, the fact that he's even on this undercard in itself tells me everything that I need to know. Tells me that Frank Warren doesn't rate him that highly, because, you know, if you look at the other prospects that Frank Warren has, he ain't putting him on undercards. This trash. You know, this is a trash undercard. So it'll be interesting to see how this fight goes. Conrad says he was more careful in his earlier fights, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. I mean, I just remember one of the fights that I saw, and he was just walking the guy down, and he didn't care about what the guy was throwing back at him. The fight started now, so it'd be interesting to see what's happened. He does seem to try to do that hop in and out, feint style, but you know, I don't know, man. He probably just looking at it like he's fighting someone who's got a guaranteed win against, so he doesn't have to worry about anything other than going for the stoppage or going for the knockout. I don't know, man. I don't know a lot about his opponent, so I don't know where or how he's gonna approach this fight. As it started so far, he's not really tried to let any of his hands go. Okay, he's walking him down, good shot. Very good inside game. You can tell he's very explosive. He reminds me, he's got much better footwork than a Eubank, but he reminds me of Eubank in the sense that he's trying to, when he's on the inside, he just explodes into action. But he's got a very good bounce to his feet. I like that. Oh, that's a very good shot. Backhand, right hand. Very good shot. He literally pulled the right hand from his opponent and literally had him walking into a backhand, right hand. Very good shot on the inside. You know, he looks very one-paced though. I'd like to see him throw a jab a bit more. There is no jab. He's not working behind the jab. He's literally waiting for his opponent. He's trying to be a front foot counter puncher and rely on feints to create openings, but there is no jab. It'd be good to see if he can get the jab out there and really try to work his way on the inside. Whoa, that's a good shot. He hit him with a counter. Again, he's just literally trying to be a front foot counter puncher where he's using feints to pull the shot from his opponent. When his opponent comes, he's hitting him with either a backhand right hook or straight right hand, or he's going to use a check left hook to wobble his opponent. And he's doing that on his way out. So he looks like he's very good in transition, but it'd be good for him to back him up with a jab as well. Andari Penant says, I would like to see him. I would like Polite Coffee versus Carlos Takam next. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know who that fighter is you just named, but I guess so. I don't know that. I don't know the fighter you named, but thanks for putting in a comment. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe. Conrad says, "Wow, nice counter." Yeah, he's doing that style where he's bouncing in and out of range, trying to draw in the punch, and then on the back end he's hitting the guy on the way out, which he's showing he's good in transition. But up close or walking the fighter down, he's not doing much. He's not trying to be first. I would like to see him try and be first. You know, try and lead with a jab, but he's not really doing that at the moment. But yes, for a better level or position, he needs to work on his jab. Yeah, because he can't just rely on his opponent to lead in. Because some fighters are very good, as you've seen in the last fight. He's good at throwing jabs while still moving backwards. He's relying on his to catch his opponent coming forward and using that motion coming forward, backhand or left hook. That counter's good, but it won't work all the time. That's not a sustainable style of fighting. But he's got good timing though, and very good punch placement, and he's got good bounce in his feet. But I want to see him be first. Try and be first. You know, don't just rely on your opponent walking in. This fight won't be long. No, it won't be long, and I hope it ain't long neither. And that shot that he hit with that right hook, that shot looked like he hit him in the neck. It didn't even look like he hit him in the head. So yeah, he really got his respect already. But again, I feel like that was a lot of balance as well, because he's catching his opponent in transition, which he's a very good transition fighter from defense to offense and offense to defense. And because of that bounce he's got that bounce in and out of range. But he's not trying to be first. He's just trying to use calculated foot movement. And they get someone like this, I would want to see you use a jab a bit more. Try and be first and work your way in. You can't just rely on the counter all the time. You know, as you can see, when his opponent don't throw, he ain't throwing. You know, and he ain't getting the success. You know, look at it. We're literally right now, and he's not throwing anything because his opponent ain't throwing nothing. Again, when he's relying so much on his opponent's aggression to get his offense off, which I find it's counterintuitive, because how do you expect to outpoint someone or score a knockout if they don't throw punches? Especially someone against someone who's fighting at that level. Again, if I was his opponent, I wouldn't even try to throw punches. I would try to outpatient him, because really and truly, it's not for you to win the fight. It's for this dude to win the fight. Now he's getting him on the inside again. Like he just got very limited offense. He's got a good single, and he's got good timing and good hand placement, but he's just got a limited offense. I'm not really impressed with what I'm seeing, because he's not trying to be first. Literally, look, he's literally just standing there, not trying to be first, waiting for his opponent to throw a punch before he counters. Like, literally, even if you have to throw a nothing jab, look at that again. That was a good counter, a very good counter uppercut. Guy hit him with a good jab straight right hand. But yeah, man, you gotta be a bit more versatile in your deception. You know, you can't just rely on a bounce and a feint to open up offense. Yeah, facts, Blaze Philly. He's a complete counter puncher. Without his opponent throwing a punch, he don't throw nothing. He might throw a nothing jab, but that's after like 10 seconds of nothing. He's relying so much. See, he got caught there because he's relying so much on his opponent throwing a punch back at him. I don't think that's a good enough. That's a sustainable fighting style. Yeah, and the funniest thing is he's got a good foot movement. That's the craziest thing. He's got good foot movement and a good bounce, but he just got no jab. A good body shot, good uppercut there. But yeah, again, and another thing he does is he's one of those fighters who he attacks, then his opponent attacks. He doesn't really trade with his opponent in a pocket. He waits for them to finish before he gets his shot off, which sometimes doesn't always work if his opponent's flat-footed. Because if his opponent's flat-footed, they ain't gonna, majority of the time, they're gonna see the punch coming. Whereas if he's trying to catch him moving forward, then you see, as you saw in the first one, he's gonna catch him off balance. But you can't just rely on counter punching. I can't hear what his cornermen are telling him, but it'd be good to I want them to at least tell him, don't rely so much on the counter. There's a back end. You know, you try to be first and try to be last. Hit that jab from head to body. Try and pull the shot out of his opponent because you know you got that good counter. You know you got that good backhand shot. You know you got that good check left hook. You know you got good punch selection and good punch placement. But try and be first. Don't wait for your opponent to throw punches before you throw punches. Those in the comment, the live, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share the video. Definitely share the video. I'm very impressed with what the comment section has been saying so far. Man like Blaze says, only seen about 3 combinations thrown by this guy. He's really not trying to let his shots off. No, he's not. He's waiting for his opponent to throw before he throws. So if you look at it, see what he just done there, which I like. Double back jab to the head, jab to the head, jab to the body. He's trying to be first in this round. I didn't listen to the corner instructions, but it looks like his cornerman did say try and be first, because since the start of this round, he's been trying to be first in this round a little bit more. But then he's gone back to good shot there, good shot to the body. Try and be first. That was good shot. But he relies a lot on singles plays, a lot on singles, a lot on counter punches, a lot on backhand punches, and a lot on the fact that he's got good understanding the distance. And he's pretty athletic as well. He's not like Eubank athletic, but he's pretty athletic. But yeah, now you're starting to see what's happening. Where he's trying to be first a bit more, and then it's creating openings. Look, that's what happens when you try and be first. When you land your punches first, your opponent tries to fall back, and that opens a good backhand and a good counter opportunities for you. Try and land a good jab to the head, to the body. She's been leading with a lot of uppercuts to the uppercuts to the body, which is a unique shot to throw. But again, try and push your opponent back with a good strong jab. Now, this is probably his best round so far. Even though his opponent's been trying to let his hands go, this has probably been his best round so far because he's actually trying to establish a bit of offense, not just counter punching. Good pivot right there. Now, he's got good feet. I definitely won't lie to you. He's got very good feet. This guy's got good feet. Good bounce, good pivot, in and out of range. He's got good feet. I hope this won't last much longer. I feel like we have seen everything both guys have to offer. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact, you know. But I do feel like from his perspective, he needs to go out and try and be a bit more assertive with his jab and with his offense. Blaze Philly says that body shot hurt. Yeah, it did. He's busted up this dude's face as well because he's got a good punch selection. Like, this guy literally throws punches like he's paying for them. Literally, every punch he throws, he makes sure it connects, and he doesn't waste punches. I like fighters like that, where you can fall into the trap of waiting to throw a perfect shot, and sometimes that turns off your offense. Your output is limited. Right now, he's fighting a fighter who is standing in the pocket a bit more, and he's up and down, so he's got opportunities to let off his offense. Sometimes you got to throw punches to set up other punches. He doesn't really do that. He just throws punches to land punches, which is good because he's got good accuracy, but it does mean that he's not overly aggressive and he doesn't have a great long game. Nelson says, y'all ever act at your girl's house when your mum's around, but when she heads out to bingo, you tear your girl's cakes up on her mum's couch and drink milk out of the bottle from the fridge? I don't know where that came from, bro. That is one of the most random comments I've ever seen in my life, but that's funny. Nelson, you definitely see new, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share. Whoa, he won! The fight got stopped in the corner. What kind of fight is this? Wow, I'm glad the fight's over though. I don't think he would have ever stopped him on, like, in the actual, like, dropped him and knocked him out. But at least he got the stoppage. Again, he got that stoppage purely down to good hand placement and being really efficient. And his opponent wasn't getting great success. And he busted up that dude's nose. That dude's nose is busted up. That reminded me of when Abdullahi fought Devin Haney. And Devin Haney was so efficient with his jab straight right hand and so precise with it and Abdullayev wasn't able to get good success offensively, and his nose just got busted up, and he stopped the fight because of how easy it was for him to get hit. But he wasn't in any trouble. It reminds me of that fight, to be honest, Abdullayev versus Devin Haney. He's going to the body pretty good, this guy. Hands are getting lower and lower. The fight won't last much longer. You were 100% right, Blaze. It didn't last so much longer. What happened? I looked away for a second and now it's over. It looked like they stopped the fight in the corner. But Conrad, I was saying, it reminds me a lot of the Abdullayev Devin Haney fight, when someone's nose just got busted up so much, and that was just purely down to efficient boxing, not a high output, not damaging punching, but just precise, accurate punching, hitting someone in the same place, wearing them down with the same punch, and it kind of breaks their rule, because not only are they getting hit, they're getting damaged, maybe not concussive, but they're getting damaged, but they're also not getting their offense off, which is what we saw. He didn't get his offense off due to that bounce in and out, in and out, in and out. I told you that body shot ended that fight. Yeah, bro. Yeah, he was his punch selection is very good. I won't lie to you. His punch selection is very good. What time is Dubois on? I think Dubois is on in an hour. I think he's on at maybe 9:30, maybe 10. I'm not 100% sure. I know there's 2 fights after this. You got Tommy Fury. He's fighting this or co-main event. So I think there's 2 fights after this. In fact, Conrad, let me know how much fights is after this. But Crazy Carper, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Is this streaming Fury fight? So this is a watch along for the Fury fight. Ellis, holy head. This is a watch along for the Fury fight, but my dude Blaze Philly put the link in the description to watch the fight live. So scroll up the comment section and hit the link to watch the fight live. Definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment. Keep your comments coming in. Burnsy boy, you definitely are new. I haven't seen you before. Hit the like button, hit the share button. He says, who's Tommy Fury fighting? Personally, I don't know, but he's not fighting anyone of notice. Cheers, pal. Yeah, crazy. Carper, yeah, it's cool. It's all good. I think he's fighting at 9:30. If you don't have a link for the fight, my man Blaze Philly put a link into the chat. So scroll up the chat and hit the link. No shame in Dubois losing to Joyce. Joyce was clearly winning, but Dubois still looked good considering the injury and his inexperience. Joyce should be fighting AJ's, Fury's, Usyk, etc. Well, Joyce is trying to make the Usyk fight. I don't know if that fight will happen. I personally feel like the fight will end up happening for the vacant belt, because in my opinion, I don't think AJ is going to make the Usyk fight. Some people would say, oh, he's obviously going to make it. What people don't understand is AJ and Eddie Hearn are trying to get Usyk to sign a rematch clause, and obviously being a mandatory, you're not obligated to have a rematch. So that's what's the hold up. You know, they've been literally, the purse bid's been pushed back so much because they're trying to get the fight done. Really and truly, if the fight goes to purse bids, AJ is going to pull out, because they don't like the split and they don't want Usyk to take the fight against AJ without there being a rematch clause. That's basically the facts. What time is Tommy Fury? MMA boxing new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Tommy Fury should be either next or the fight after. I'm not sure. He should be next or the fight after. So it's either now or the fight after. He's probably fighting at 8:30, maybe. No, not 8:30, 9 o'clock or 8:30. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Conrad says, I think the Bunts fight has gone. The Bunts fight has gone already. Then it's 3 more fights until Dubois. So I thought maybe it has gone already. I don't know if the fight's gone already. I won't lie to you. Aiden F, shout out. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the subscription. As I said, how this channel normally works is we normally have like a panel. Panel's not here today, but we're still getting the live in. We're literally just finished watching a good fight, and I think Bants might have fought already, Conrad. from what I'm seeing, it seems like Tommy Fury is gonna fight in 2 fights time. I'm not 100% sure about that, by the way. Wait, Daniel Buklach versus Naeem Ali. Personally, I didn't even know that fight was on this card. I didn't even see that on the card. I'm probably butchering that name as well. Again, so 2 more fights left. So we're gonna have. It must be Bance fighting next. It has to be because who's the other 2 fights? I don't know who's the other 2 fights. I know one of them is Tommy Fury and one of them is Daniel Dubois. But MMA Boxing says send me the link. If you want the link to watch the fight, there you can either scroll up the comment section. Blaze Philly put the link. It's a Facebook link. It's quite far up. Hit the link to watch the fight. If you want the link to get into the chat or to get into the live, personally, I don't have it. Unfortunately, normally, for those who don't know, we literally send the link in to people in the chat to get them to get their opinions off. Unfortunately, we can't do that right now. I don't have the link for it. But if there's enough of you who want to jump on, what I can do is I can go live again tomorrow with Jeff and we can get everybody who was here on to get their opinions off if you want. MMA Boxer says, thanks. Valentine TLN, when is the fight? I think you mean the Dubois fight. I think that's at maybe 9:30, maybe in an hour's time. So I'm not 100% sure though. But you see when you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Are you buying the Mayweather fight? Am I buying the Mayweather fight? You can't be asking me that question because there's no way on God's green would I wake up 5 a.m. on a Monday morning to watch 2 non-professionals fight. That's insane. Nathan Heaney. Oh yes, that's the fight. That's true. That's true. That fight's gonna be a good fight as well. That's a good fight. That's a fight I didn't even remember that fight. That's true. That's true. That's the truth. That's true. Thanks, Conrad. If it wasn't for Conrad in this, like I wouldn't even have been. I literally my schedule was so off. Literally on my schedule it says that Tommy Fury is fighting in 3 fights time. I mean, he was supposed to be the 3rd fight, which is crazy. Burnsy boy, I think it's another fight than Tommy Fury. Yeah, as Conrad said, Nathan Heaney's fighting next. That's going to be a good fight, by the way. That's going to be a real good fight. I think that's the closest fight we got to that I would say that's going to be interesting. That would be an interesting fight. Blaze, thank you for putting the link in the description, in the comment section again. For those who want to watch the fight, hit the link. This is the link right here. Hit the link or watch that fight. There's better qualities of heavyweights now than the Klitschko era. Oh, 100%. The Klitschko era was full of poor bin men fights. Let's keep it real. The Klitschko era only got exciting for a brief period when a pumped up cruiserweight in David Haye moved up. That's when it got exciting for a bit. And let's keep it real. David Haye's fights were boring at heavyweight. But just because people believed in him, especially British people, they thought he could do stuff. But everybody who knew boxing that he was never going to go anywhere near the Klitschkos. And the Klitschkos really bored themselves to entertaining fights. And I feel like a lot of that was down to the fact that a lot of the contractual things were on their side. You know, they had the fights in Germany. They were allowed to get away with so much other stuff at the before fight, in fight, that they really just dried out the whole life that was in the heavyweight division. I'm so glad that Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, AJ, etc. came. And since they've come, heavyweight's been an exciting division. We've seen many great fights. And unfortunately for Vladimir Klitschko, when you look at Vladimir Klitschko's career, his biggest fights will be seen as losses. You know, the biggest fight of his career will probably be AJ, and that was a loss. Second biggest fight was Fury, and that was a loss. You know, you should think about it, when his highest profile fights were losses. They're showing David a delay knockouts. But you know one thing about this dude, yeah? And I've actually seen this guy fight live as well. He's another guy who's got very poor defense. Very poor defense, and relies so much on his physical strength and his physical power and his attributes, but he's got poor defense. Do you know the address to the venue for the fights? I just got off work and I need to be at this fight. I'm supposed to be fighting some kid named Tommy today. Oh, that's funny. I don't know if you are serious. Obviously, you're not serious, but that's funny. I think this fight's in the BT Studios, and the BT Studios is in central London. I've been to the BT Studios once. In fact, I don't even know if it's in the BT Studios. In fact, I don't know where this fight is. YSM says, Shane O'Mac, what's good, YSM? Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. No Jeff today, YSM. So I'm lone wolf. But yeah, this dude, David Adelaide, he is one of the most overrated fighters and overrated prospects in the division. I am not a fan of him at all. Now, George, I think that's how we're going to pronounce George H. Is Tommy Fury fighting already? No, his fight, I think, is at 9. I think his fight's at 9. So, yeah. If you want to watch, if you're already watching the fight, you can stick around, hit the like button, hit the share button, comment. I want to know what everybody thinks of Tommy Fury. Because with as I said earlier, with all of the stuff that's going on with Floyd Mayweather and all of the celebrity stuff that's going on, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, and all of that, it'll be interesting to see what people think of Tommy Fury, whether they take his career serious or they just see him as another celebrity fighter. It's quite ironic that Tommy Fury and Logan Paul are fighting in the same weekend. You know, I don't think that fight would ever happen because Logan Paul will probably lose this fight, but YSM Sports says he looks the part. I assume you're talking about Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is a celebrity. That's the thing. Like, he's rich, he's famous. So what we're looking at is what is his inspiration for fighting right now? Because it ain't money, it ain't fame, because he's already got money, he's already got fame. So what's he fighting for? KD says, has Fury already fought already? No, he hasn't. As I said, I think he should be fighting at 9 o'clock. But it should be a good fight as well. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. For those who are new, hit the subscribe button, comment, keep your comments rolling. Tell me what you think about Dubois. Tell me what you think about Tommy Fury. Tell me what you think about David Adelaide. Tell me what you think about Frank Warren's card. I'm not really rating the card, but yeah, Tommy Fury is next. Tommy Fury is fighting next. According to BT Sports, Tommy Fury is fighting next. So for those who are wondering when Tommy Fury is fighting, I think he's fighting in the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes. So for those who want to know when Tommy Fury is fighting, he's fighting in the next 15 to 20 minutes. BT Sports has just said he's fighting next. Are you showing the fight or reacting? So what's happening is we're doing a live watching on. You can't show the fight because you'll get a copyright strike. But what we have done is my boy Blaze Philly, he's put the link in the description. If you want to watch the fight live, go click that link. You can watch the fight live whilst commenting and literally telling us your thoughts and basically giving us your opinion. Packer fan 1-2, you see new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I had to squeeze in my training camp during my lunch breaks at work. Frank Warren only gave me 72-hour notice, but I need this check. Again, you seem very funny. I mean, I don't know where the fight is taking place, but I don't think Frank Warren's checks are that good. He doesn't pay his fighters like how Eddie Hearn does. Let's put it that way. I keep forgetting, Shane. I need to get you my Zelly or Cash App so you can send me my bread, laugh my ass off, vacation in 2 weeks. Bro, you know how it goes, bro. When one, you do need to send it, but two, I need to see them fight. That's what I need to. The moment they do a weigh-in, I'll send you the money. The reason why is because personally, I don't trust Tyson Fury and I don't trust nothing that's going on right now. So I can send that to you and you might have to send it back to me. So until I see them in the ring, that's when I'm going to send you the money. But Blaze, don't worry, I got you. You don't have to worry. KD says, Logan versus Mayweather predictions. I will not be predicting that fight because it's a pantomime. It's not a fight. But thanks for asking anyway. And keep the comments coming in. Burnsy Boy says, I hope Fury proves that he can beat boxers with winning records today. Bro, to be fair, I actually feel like people are sleeping on Tommy Fury. Because let's keep it real. Tommy Fury doesn't have to fight. He's rich and he's famous. So he doesn't have to fight. So the fact that he's taking his career the way he's taking it, he hasn't gone in there and tried to fight a YouTuber or one of these other famous people for money. He could have fought someone else for more money. But he's actually trying to work on his career. And according to his dad and his brothers, which I have to take their word for it, he is taking his career seriously. He's always in shape. He always seems to be training. So I do feel like we do have to take him as a legitimate prospect. Whether he's going to amount to anything, I don't know. Whether he's going to try and take on the guys at the top of the division, I don't know. But he does seem to have higher aspirations than just being a guy who was known for Love Island. But I do want to know what his inspirations are, because he's rich, he's famous, so what else does he want out of life? Why is he boxing? It'll be interesting to see why he's boxing. Tommy looks pretty good on the pads, but my man is fighting local bin men with records of 100, 0 to 200. So you can't say too much about his skills. Facts. You can't say about his skills or his future because he's not fighting anybody. But what you can say, Joe, is that he at least does take the sport serious enough. That's what I can say. Because let's keep it real, he doesn't have to fight. So the fact that he's fighting for pretty low purses, because let's keep it real, the purses he's getting from Frank Warren ain't high purses because he's in low meet against very low opposition and in low cards, very bad on the cards. It's not going to generate him a lot of money. So let's think about it. He's not really fighting for money. So he is taking his career serious. He's not just doing it for fame because he's already famous. True George, we can't really tell if he's a better than Jake Paul, for example. That's funny. Frank Warren is paying me in Amazon gift cards, but Christmas is coming up soon and I need those gift cards. Lol. George Facts Conrad. Blaze Philly said, "Oh, got you, bro. I'm sure I won't have to send it back though." Nah, bro. Let me tell you this, yeah. I'm a guy who bets all the time. I bet all the time. Jeff will tell you I bet religiously, literally religiously. So if I lose a bet, I'll send you that bet. I owe you. By the way, we need to specify, please. Are we talking? I think we're talking about $500 because there's a big difference between $500 and £500. I think we're talking about $500. I don't mind paying you that $500, by the way, because I owe you. You won the bet, but I have to see the fight first before I pay you out. But those who are new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Do you see Mayweather just failed the drug test? Bro, I don't know that. I'd have to check. I did not know that. Someone, Conrad, or someone put that up for me. I don't know that. I'm not even going to go and check, but I don't know if that's true. Blaze says, Satin215 is my cash app, and when the fight happens, I'll take that bet if you want it. And it's $500, and it was $500. Okay, cool. If it's $500, that's good. Because £500 is $700 or just under $700. So I'm glad it's not £500. You don't know if it's true, but it's over Twitter. Bro, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't trust Twitter, to be honest. But if it's true, it's true. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of anything to do with Mayweather. Let's keep it real. I think they're doing the ring walks now for Tommy Fury as well. For those who are in the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And wait, is it Tommy Fury fighting right now, or is it? I don't know. I have to see because it doesn't look like it's Tommy Fury fighting right now. KD says, I hope it ain't because I want to see Logan get smacked. Hello? I don't think he'll get smacked. He'll just be a little pantomime, a little fun. It won't be serious. Blaze Philly, I'm doing research now on Mayweather and I didn't hear nothing about that. Yeah, that's the truth. So Tommy Fury is walking to the ring right now. So everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Personally, Blaze, I don't know. I'll be the last person to ask, bro. I'll be the last person to ask. But if you haven't seen it, I don't believe it. Because if Mayweather failed the drug test, it'll be all over the news. Dallas Vlissapolis. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Hello to you, shout, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for being in the comment section. Packer fan says it's not true, lol. It's not even VADA involved in the Logan vs Mayweather fight. Mayweather legally takes peds like cash cows do. You know, he's got a therapeutic use exemption for his hands, in it. So, but I don't think he's got it for this fight. I don't think he even needs it. And as you said, it's not. I think it's an amateur fight. I've never heard of amateur fights having drug testing. K5, all that KS says it's him. Yeah, it is him. It is Tommy Fury. I can see him right now. It's him walking to the ring. Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. Interesting to see Tommy Fury. He's walking out with his dad. So, I mean, I don't really rate his dad as a trainer, but he's very entertaining. So it'd be interesting to see how that career goes. Is that Umar from IFL in the background? That'd be funny if Umar is the cameraman for him as well. Blaze Philly said it's not true. Yeah, I don't believe it's true. I think it is Umar in the background for that as well. Any chance Gordon Grant wins? I mean, if he wins, it'll be interesting. But I don't think he wins. I don't think he wins. I'll keep it real. I don't think he's going to even stand a chance. But I do want to see how Fury fights someone who actually has a chance of winning. Not even a chance of winning, but causing trouble. And I also want to see if Tommy Fury has anything other than offense. Because this guy's brother fights pretty slick. He's got a variety of styles. But from what I've seen of Fury, he just fights aggressive. Walks forward, uses his physical strength, uses his explosive style, uses his power that he's got, and he just really tries to knock guys out. He hasn't shown me anything other than that, but he's got a very big fan following. Where that this is a 4-rounder when he fought a 6-rounder before already. Bro, I don't know what Frank Warren's been doing this. I feel like he's running this show on a budget. And I feel like the BT staff has said that you have to run a card quick, because this card has been one of the fastest fight cards I've ever watched in my life. And he might have an eviction notice after this, like you have to be out by 10 or something, because this card has been so quick. I've never seen so much 6 or 4 rounders in a fight in a fight card in my life. I don't think any fight has gone past 4 rounds, and I don't see this fight going past 3 rounds. And I don't see the Dubois fight going past 5 rounds. So literally, we've seen a card with less than 30 rounds in it. A whole entire fight card with less than 30 rounds. That's ridiculous. Umar always lurking like them IFL leeches. I don't really want to get into it, but I've met Umar before. Umar seems like a cool guy. This is the first time I watched Tommy Fury fight. Let's see how it goes. George says, do you think Dubois will be the same after the eye injury he got in the Joyce fight? Well, we would have to see. I wouldn't know. I feel like Bogdan Dinu was the right fight to see, because if he was fighting another guy who's got a good punch, good power, a guy who is aggressive, he might be in the show a bit more and try to protect and really defend himself. But someone like Bogdan Dinu, he's going to allow him to get his offense off, and he's going to allow him to get confidence pretty early. So we would have to see. Did AJ Caballero win? That's a good point. I don't even know. I have to figure it out. I didn't even watch that fight, but I knew he was fighting. And Caballero is a guy who's been forgotten about in the division. People actually forget this guy is actually a decent fighter. You know, and he does have decent wins on his resume. I actually always wanted to see Caballero fight a lot of the British guys coming up. Personally, I'd actually like to see Caballero fight Alan Babbage. That's a fight that I want to see. Frank and them man ain't got the budget. After DD dropped money, run out. I don't know what that means, but RS, yeah, I mean, Tyson Fury isn't, Frank Warren hasn't got the highest budget right now, and BT Sports have been running at a loss ever since they signed with Queensbury. Please put the link back into the chat. In my opinion, Tommy Fury is making a mistake by going to the pro boxing route when he should be calling out KSI and other celebrities. But what people forget is he was a boxer, then he became a mainstream celebrity. And then he's now taking his boxing serious. Plus, his brother's a professional boxer. He wants to be a professional fighter. Richard Brown, hi mate. I've just found your channel and subscribed. Looking forward to seeing how the boy looks. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being in the comments, bro. This is how it goes. This is how the we literally just watch fights. We normally send the links out to people in the chat to jump on the live, give their opinions. Unfortunately, we can't do that today, but we normally do that every day. We go live maybe 5 times a week. So stay tuned to what we do. If you're a big boxing fan, we literally do this every other day, to be honest. Tommy Fury's getting backed up. I haven't even been watching the fight properly. I've been focusing on the comments, but Tommy Fury's getting backed up. This guy's come to win. So this fight is all but a full conclusion, because this guy's actually come to win. He's actually come to land punches. Tommy Fury doesn't look comfortable on the inside. I'll tell you that. Anybody who fights the way he's fighting backwards on the inside, he doesn't look like he's comfortable. And I feel like the reason I think it's a 4-rounder is because he doesn't have confidence in his, in his stamina, because he's very muscle bound, you know, and he's very explosive. I don't know how sustainable that is. Personally, I can see this guy causing an upset, because Tommy Fury does not look like he's trying to develop a slow game or even an inside game. When it's up close, he's tying up, and his slow game is still quick. He's just fighting everything at 100 miles an hour, and his punch accuracy is terrible. His punch selection is terrible. The only thing about it is his opponent has got good intent, but his opponent doesn't have good punch delivery neither. He's got poor punch delivery. Tommy don't look great at all. Nice shot by the ginger. Send the link. The link is Cricket Stream. Oh, thank you for putting the link in there. That's another stream. Then hit the link. That left foot, yeah, man, he's open. But the truth is, this guy is not. I'm not impressed with neither fighter. I feel like there's so much holes in both fighters. Dallas, apology, I'm just gonna call you by your first name. Dallas says, upcoming fight you're most looking forward to too. My most upcoming fight is very simple. Brian Castano versus Jamel Charlo. That's a fight for all the marbles at 154. And to me, I feel like that's as 50-50 as it gets. I think that's a really good fight. I think Brian Castano looked fantastic in his last fight against Patrick Teixeira. I feel like he's the fresher fighter in the fact that he's fought more recent. He's the come forward fighter, the aggressive fighter, but then the skills are with Jamel Charlo. Very good fight. I'll break that down in another live though. His opponent is winging shots and Tommy can get out of there. The truth is, Tommy's open and Tommy doesn't feel comfortable fighting on the inside because he doesn't really do anything other than tie up and try to land a single. He doesn't have a slow game neither. So he's not really doing much on the inside and he's just going backwards. He's not really trying to set himself behind the jab or anything, to be honest. He's just literally just, both of them's punch variety and punch selection and punch accuracy is as poor as it gets. The only thing is the ginger dude is just coming with much more intent. You can see he's much, like, Fury's he's trying to look much cleaner, whereas the ginger is just trying to be efficient, whereas Tommy's trying to still look clean and nice with it. But in this round, Tommy looks much more slicker, much quicker. He's trying to establish a jab. He hasn't landed anything noticeable yet, but he's trying to keep that distance. Nice shot from Tommy. Tommy ate a nice shot. I have to give this round to Grant. I think they both look so wide and wild. Only 3 rounds did Frank make a mistake? No, he didn't make a mistake. I just think he doesn't have the budget to be putting on big fight cards anymore. I'm only 2-0 and my 2 previous opponents were winless. Cut me some slack. Well, that's a good body shot from Tommy Fury. George says, I'm not watching the fight, but what round is it and is Fury losing? It's hard to say who's winning because nobody's actually landing anything effective, in my opinion. They're both throwing good shots. I mean, they're both open for good shots, good counters. They're both tying up a lot, and the ref's talking to them, telling them to stop tying up. Sorry. I feel like if I'm gonna give anybody the nod, I'm gonna give the nod to Fury just because he's the cleaner fighter. Or in this round, I think he was the cleaner fighter. But anything else, I think the dude is exposing a lot from Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury's tired already. Neither are fit, and they're both flowing. Yeah, bro, it's a messy fight, and they're both coming with a lot of intent, but not great punch selection and punch variety and punch placement. They got very bad hands, point blank. Period. I mean, Tommy Fury hasn't landed one clean punch this whole fight, and this Ginger Dude's landed a few clean punches. But Tommy Fury is the one keeping the distance a bit better, but then at the same time, this guy's keeping the pressure on him. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not impressed with Tommy Fury at all. I think Tommy's trying to take him round to the later rounds and drown him. Bro, there's only 4 rounds, so I don't know how he's gonna do that when there's only 4 rounds. There's literally only 4 rounds. How is he gonna do that? Conrad, I smell a draw. Bro, there's no way this is a draw. If this fight goes to distance, Tommy Fury is going to win. He's a celebrity. But he's not going to look impressive. The thing is, to me, many people want to fight Tommy Fury because of how defensively open he looks and how poor his punch placement is. He does have strength, he does have power, but if you can't land a punch, then what's the point of having power and placement? I mean, power and strength. He looks tired already as well. Very muscle bound. It's a 4-rounder, bro. Exactly. It's a 4-rounder. You can't be taking guys into the championship round and it's only 4 rounds. Packer fan says championship rounds start after 2. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, it must be. Fury 1-1 to me. You can give it. I think the first round was a close round, but I would give it to the other dude. And in the second round, I would give to Tommy Fury just because he kept distance better. But even in that round, he didn't land anything concussive or even effective. This guy's still coming forward, but the guy just don't have punch placement. Only one Tyson Fury. Lol. Yeah, comment, destroy, hit the like button, hit the share button, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Blaze Philly says, right, I didn't know it was 4 rounds. Yeah, bro. I don't know why Frank Warren's got a co-main event as a 4-rounder. Someone tell me, I don't know. Is Dubois after this? I think so, bro. Conrad, let me know. You'll be the best person to ask. Conrad is this the last fight before Dubois. I hope Tommy wins, because if he's not, Jake Paul will mock him. I don't really care about Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, to be honest. Tommy Fury is fighting in a pro ranks against are supposed to be professional, proper fighters, whereas Jake Paul's fight, woo, he got caught with a good shot there. Tommy Fury got caught with a good shot there. And that's probably the best shot of the fight. Tommy Fury has no inside game whatsoever. He's just trying to land a single and tie up. He has no inside game. Jack says, Haney, then Dubois. Oh, Haney. Oh, yeah, that fight's next. That's true. That's true. Jack, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for letting me know. Tommy is usually a bit more aggressive. I feel like he's being overwhelmed with what his opponent's doing. Tommy might get deducted a point because Tommy's doing some excessive holding. Jack says because there's someone actually punching him back. Exactly. This guy is being overwhelmed by his opponent's aggression, and when you don't know how to fight, when you're not confident in your defense, then it turns off your offense, and you go all the way into shell mode, and you don't really try to get out of. He's trying to establish a jab now, but his jab is so off and so out of range. He's just not landing anything so conclusive, and that guy should have followed him out of the back, followed him there. He spun through. He should have followed him. Last fight is a 10-rounder versus Heaney versus Markov. I actually think that fight's going to be the best fight of the night, to be honest. Thanks for letting me know, though, Conrad. Tommy, big for nothing. That's true, bro. He's just looking big, but he's early in his career, and I don't know, man. He's got a lot of work to do. Nobody's ever said that Tommy Fury is going to be an elite fighter, though. So we have to give him credit. We have to be patient with him. How far is Tommy going? He's still young. Whoa, he's caught him there. He's hurt him there, and he's able to. He caught him on a count on the way in. Tommy Fury caught him on a count on the way in, and that was a good shot. Justin says, "Is Tommy fighting now?" Yeah, Justin, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, he's fighting right now. Wilder versus Fury. Who you got? I got Fury, but I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder won. Packer fan says, "Why is Tommy fighting 4 rounders?" Bro, I just think Frank Warren just doesn't have the budget for it. He's caught him there again. This is definitely a Tommy round. Tommy's definitely landed the most. He still looked open for shots, but he's landed the most concussive punches. Why is Tommy fighting 4-rounders? That literally makes no sense. It's like this 9th or 10th. It's like the 9th or 10th fight. I think it's the 6th fight. And they were marketing him like he was going to be the corner main event. Yeah, bro. It's because he's a celebrity and he sells tickets. But deep down, he's actually not an elite fighter. He has a good jab, but seems to be scared to hit back. He's used to hitting people and them just shutting up. Yeah, that's true. I don't know why it's taking me so long to read comments. It's because it's literally so small on the screen. But it's not even that. I would even say he's got a good jab. He just throws the jab often. But if you look at it, he doesn't throw a jab and his arms extend. His arms are still bent when he's throwing the jab. And 9 times out of 10, the jab doesn't even land. He's just using it to create a bit of distance. And you can tell he doesn't like fighting on the inside, even though that was good. When someone's throwing back at him on the inside, you can tell he's not comfortable with that. Come on, Tommy. Yeah, boy, Dan, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. KS says Fury 2-1. Yeah, Fury's won that round. Fury won that round, definitely. Fury won that round, definitely. His dad's talking to him. I wonder what his dad's saying to him. Let's see how this round goes up. You know, this is the last round before the end of the fight. He jabs like a feint. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. He jabs like a feint. You don't get full extension on it, and 9 times out of 10, you don't land. He wants to keep distance. You can tell he doesn't like when someone's banging with him up close. He's not comfortable with that. Aaron Palmer says Tommy has speed and vicious power. He just seems flustered and just gets scared to commit. That's true, and he doesn't have very good punch placement. That's true. You know, he's got to work on his punch placement, and he doesn't feel comfortable when someone's throwing back. He's just not used to that. And to me, the way how you iron that out of your game is by good sparring. He needs to go get some good sparring and get hit. You know, he doesn't even know if he's got a good chin or not because he doesn't like getting hit. He fights that someone who's scared to get hit. You know, he should really be deducted a point for his excessive holding as well. Molly May is a proper pain. She's ringside as well. She's ringside. But yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Aaron Palmer, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. His dad is probably telling him to empty the tank. His dad is such an emotional character, I wouldn't be surprised. He's probably telling him, go out there and try and get a knockout. You can tell why Tommy Fury is only fighting 4 rounders as well. Because this guy does not look fit enough to be fighting 10 rounds. Like, he's winning the rounds, but the rounds are close than someone with his type of hype should be having. We got hit with a good shot there. Bro, if he's fighting anyone of even a British level, he's going to lose. Even at British level, he's going to lose because he's just way too open. He's got way too much holes in his game. Is he winning? Yeah, he's winning 2-1 on the cards, on my cards anyway, my unofficial scorecards, and most guys in the comments. Who's winning, Jake Paul or Tommy Fury? I have never watched the Jake Paul fight, so I wouldn't know. Robin Moss says, what round is it? It's currently round 4. It's the last round. It's literally the last 40 seconds of the fight. So, whoa, that's a good shot. Yeah, I feel like the guy who he's fighting has come to win, and he has good intent, good heart, but he just don't have good skills to match it. Right now, I'd love to see him fight someone who's actually gonna at least, I don't even want to say test him, but someone who's gonna be able to land punches, because this guy had good intent, but he just don't have no punch placement. Neither of them had great punch placement, but the other guy had good engine and good intent. Does it count as an upset if Tommy loses? Of course it does, because Tommy's been built as the A side, as the bigger fighter. He's been built as a prospect. So yeah, of course he is an upset. The only difference is he's just not, by many hardcore fans, he's not taken seriously because of his celebrity status. But in this fight, he's been backed up way too much. Well, the ref literally just got angry with both fighters because they refused to split off. They were fighting after their belt. That was funny. Clear says 2-2 draw for me. I think that last fight could have gone to that ginger dude as well. Jake Paul says, Aaron Palmer says Jake Paul is good. He's good. he has a good power, but he's had easy fights. Obviously, he's fighting guys who aren't boxers, so of course he's gonna have an easy fight. Let's go through these comments. Thomas says he'll probably get a draw. Nah, he will win this fight. They'll have him win 4-0. I got 3 winning 3-1, but it was close. Yeah, it was definitely closer than it should have been. Thomas says, but I mean, I can't see it. I mean, I can't see it being in a draw neither. This guy's a celebrity. They're going to give him the win. Will you be going live for Mayweather, mate? By the way, this isn't my main. I'm not the main guy for the channel. Jeff is. So I don't know if Jeff's going live for the fight. I won't be, but Jeff might be. So stay tuned. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And if we are, we will let you know. DG4. I'm assuming you're saying D Gamer. Tommy looked good before he was fighting against people that aren't trying to fall back. That's a fact. He would never lose on points because of money and promoting facts. D Gamer says 3-1-3. I had the same way, or maybe 2-2. Fury will win this fight no matter what, because he's the A side and the celebrity. That's a fact. Justin Wilkins, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You definitely are new. Are you a boxer? You are one of the first people in this comment section to ask me that, but not the first person in life to ask me that. No, I'm not a boxer, but I am a massive boxing fan, and I've been a boxing journalist for the last 3 years. So, yeah, I'm not a boxer. Conrad, did I just hear? Yeah, exactly. It's going to be 4-0. It's always going to be. Those scorecards were made before the fight was even made, to be honest. Those scorecards was always going to be that way. That guy really knew he was going to lose before, but he just tried to come in there and roll dice and see if he can get a stoppage. He didn't, and Tommy Fury's on to the next. I mean, not many people talk about his career and how poor. Not many people talk about this performance in his career and how poor he looked today. He just needs to work on his game, try to get some improvements, get some good sparring in, which I want to see him do. If he can get some good sparring and get a proper coach, proper trainer, get him taking the sport seriously, getting him fight active. We never know where his career can be, but right now he's a very, very limited fighter. You had MB Boxing Official. Shout out to you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You're definitely new. I had it 38. I mean, I wouldn't begrudge you for having it like that. Definitely was a closer fight than the scores had it. Parker fan says Ramala Ali not even fighting 4-rounders, and she's on her 3rd pro fight. Bro, it's just the way it goes. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I actually want to see what Tyson Fury's dad has to say.
It's a good fight. All respect to him. He's done Scotland proud, and he's a good game kid. I think people just need to take the time with me. I've had 10 amateur fights when I was 15. Like I keep saying, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. I'm learning every time. I've learned more in them 4 rounds than I have the whole rest of my 5 fights. You learn more in the first 3 minutes than you have in your other fights. 1 round, and 2 rounds.
By the way, for those who are here, I'm literally just listening to what he's saying.
And in the second round, I'm going to say this, Tom, you boxed like a seasoned veteran. It was a terrific second round. Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to get.
I don't need to listen to anymore, because Steve Bunce. I've met Steve Bunce before. I've been at I think 4 Frank Warren shows. I've worked on 4 Frank Warren shows. I'm actually in a bubble for one of Frank Warren shows as well. And Steve Bunce is one of the most deluded pundits ever. Why does Tommy Fury speak just like his dad and his brothers? They both speak all the same. Like, they both have the same speech patterns. But yeah, I mean, he does seem very humble. And Tommy Fury did say the truth. He did learn more in those 4 fights than he's learned in any of his other fights, which is a fact. He did learn a lot about himself in that fight. And if he's got a good team, they'll go back, watch the fight, and then they'll work on what some of the weaknesses he had in this fight. In my opinion, he had a few weaknesses. They're going to go back, they're going to look at it, and if he's got a good team, they're going to work on it. And he seems like he's willing to learn, and as he says, he's willing to take his time. So if he wants to take his time, I feel like the fans shouldn't put pressure on him. I just feel like because he's a celebrity, we've just got to expect and accept that he's just going to be built up to be bigger than he is. But we know he's not at that level, and as long as he doesn't see himself at that level yet, I'm fine with it. Who will win, Gervonta Davis or Ryan Garcia? Gervonta Davis knocks Ryan Garcia out clean. Bogdan Dinu win. Fulky, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you are new. I can't see it happening, but if it does happen, you heard it here first from Fulky. Terrific second round, lol. I mean, Steve Bunce was saying how he was going to be, how he looked like a seasoned vet. I don't know what he's talking about. I've met Steve Bunce personally. Like, I've met Steve Bunce personally. And he talks like this in real life. Like, the way he talks on the camera, that's how he talks in real life. He talks like someone who doesn't really, he just is a fan of fighters, so he tells them what they want to hear. That's just the truth. Yeah, Steve Bunce, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to need Dubois to win. I'm a fan of his. I don't dislike Dubois. I just think he's got a lot of work to do. MMA boxing, Tommy win. Yeah, Tommy did win. Steve Bunce is a waffler. Steve Bunce is a fan of fighters, and he's on a payroll with Frank Warren. And you know how it goes. And I'll tell you this now. I'll tell you this for a fact. Yeah, I was at a Frank Warren show, and I remember I was working for a publication. I'm not going to say the publication, and they gave me a list of things that I can't ask Frank Warren before the interview. I swear to God, they gave me a list of things that Frank Warren doesn't want you to ask him anything that will be slightly controversial or against him or going to make him look. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want it. And if he does it, you literally get banned. Like, he will get banned from his shows. You have to ask what he wants to hear. So Steve Bunce is just trying to stay in employment, to be honest. Did Ajit and Fress win? I don't even know what fighters you're talking about. I don't know if you'd have to say their surnames, because I don't know which fighters you're talking about. Do you think Usyk could beat Joshua? Personally, I think Usyk has a great chance of beating Joshua. I think Usyk has probably a 45% chance to 40% chance of beating Joshua, in my opinion. Especially if that fight happens next. If that fight happens next, I give Usyk a brilliant chance. The Bridgerweight is a bad idea for boxing and should be abolished. Truthfully, it won't last long. They've tried to do this before, and it won't last long, because as you've seen, there's not a lot of people that's trying to make the fight. I know there's supposed to be Bryant Jennings versus Oscar Rivas for the WBC Bridgerweight title. That's not drumming enough interest, so I think they will scrap it. Thomas says, why is Daniel Dubois getting a fight faster than Joe Joyce? Because Joe Joyce might fight for a world title next. So that's why. That's why. Daniel Dubois is fighting in a nice C-level fight, but Joe Joyce is relying on an A-level fight. You know, he's trying to get an A-level fight, and there's a lot that goes into it. You know, let's keep it real. Daniel Dubois is coming off a loss. They're trying to keep him active. Eddie took all the food off Warren's plate. That's a fact. That's a fact. Warren's been starving ever since Eddie's come into the British game, and he's done what he's done with boxing. He's took all the food off the plate. But it's really down to that Audley Harrison David Haye show. That was the death of Frank Warren. That Audley Harrison David Haye show. For those who don't know, that show done so poor for this was before BT Sports. That show done so poor for Sky Sports. They promoted it, they invested it, and the numbers done poor, the ratings were so poor that Sky Sports stopped doing boxing. And there was limited avenues of where people with big stables could put their shows on. So people like Frank Warren had to go to places like Box Nation, which didn't have a massive budget, and that meant the amount of fights and the amount of fighters he had limited. And what ended up happening was Sky ended up doing an exclusive deal with Eddie Hearn, because they had Kell Brook, Carl Froch, and all of those guys. And then that's how that ended up happening. And from that point onwards, Frank Warren's never been the same. Cabello fights in around 30 to 60 minutes. I think I actually might go live for that fight as well. For those, I actually might just stay on live and watch the fight. For those you want to watch, you want to know. I think Ajit Cabello can be a big name in the heavyweight division. I don't think he'll be a big name. I'd love to see him against guys like Parker White. I'd actually love to see him fight someone like Tony Yoka, to be honest. Someone like Tony Yoka would be a good fight. I don't think he'll be a big name because he's a very pragmatic boring fighter. So it will be. I don't really think he'll be a big name, but he can pull off some good wins. Did Fury win controversially? Robin must hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Yes, some people had it a draw, but I personally had. I knew he was gonna win. He didn't look convincing in the win. Let's put it that way. D Gamer says, for me, the main thing that Daniel Dubois needs to improve on is his head movement. That's a fact. That's a definite fact. That's why I'm not so convinced about the Shane McGuigan link-up. He needs to improve on his head movement and his defense. His defense on a whole. He doesn't catch punches well. He doesn't block punches well. He doesn't avoid punches well. His defense is solely based on the fact that he's aggressive and he can scare and then physically impose and overwhelm his opponents. But he doesn't have the ability to avoid punches or even use lateral movement to get out of way of punches. Joyce WBO mandatory shot is gone now that Usyk is put back. Frank, knowing this, moved Dubois over to the WBA purposely, left Joe Joyce out in the cold. No, he's not, because what you don't understand is I'm not convinced that the AJ Usyk fight happens. Usyk was always mandatory, but in order for him to get that fight, it would have been a vacant strap between AJ and Usyk and Joyce, and I still think that might happen because I feel like AJ might relinquish the WBO belt. I feel like he might relinquish it. He doesn't want it to go to purse bids, and Eddie has said if it goes to purse bids, we will drop the strap. The reason why is because they don't want because when you're a mandatory, you don't get a rematch clause. They want a rematch clause on that fight, and they probably won't get it. Do you watch UFC? I'm not a massive UFC fan. Sorry, me. I'm not a massive UFC fan. Richard Brown says, have you seen Rashid Ellis at welterweight? I rate him a lot. I rate him, but need a lot. Not a lot of people have heard of him. He could be a problem at welterweight, I think. Rashidi Ellis, of course I have. Of course I have. If YSM was in the comment section, he would tell me that Rashidi Ellis is someone who YSM talks about all the time, and is someone that I've been put onto due to the fact that I'm always talking to American fight fans. Saeed says Jake beats Tommy any day of the week. Tommy is so bad. Tommy doesn't look great. I wouldn't say that. I haven't watched enough of Jake Paul, to be honest. I won't lie to you. Saeed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I don't even know who Daniel's new trainer is. Oh, he's fighting Shane. His new trainer is Shane McGuigan, and I'm not so convinced with it. I like Shane McGuigan as a trainer, but I don't think it's a great fit. Bro, Tommy is sick at boxing, bro. He would batter Jake Paul. I don't know. I'm going to let you guys go back and forth with it. I wouldn't say he's sick at boxing. I would say he's got a lot of work to do. But again, that's your opinion. Zahid HD, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Saeed says, Tommy is sick at boxing. Did you watch the fight? He barely won against a gentleman. Exactly. AJ is susceptible to shots around the air or back of the head. Usyk hooks give him a great chance. Not even just that. It's just the fact that AJ is not used to being the come forward fighter, walking fighters down. He's got very slow feet going forward. And we saw that against Joseph Parker. To me, no one in the heavyweight division has better lateral movement and angles and distance than Usyk. So he's going to have to go forward and try and catch Usyk. And I don't rate his front foot game. And I don't rate his ability to walk Usyk down. But he does have great size, great dimensions, and great punch variety. So it gives him a great chance. Said, who you got in the Wilder Fury 3? Bro, in my opinion, I got Fury, but I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder won. I'm going to break that fight down. Just hit the like button, the subscribe button. We'll do it in a different live. Are you going to Vegas for Fury versus Wilder? I'm not, but Jeff is. I'm not. Jeff is, and YSM is, and LW will be there. Plus, who else? I think Blunt might even be there as well. BoxingFirstVlog. Those are the other guys who are normally part of the panel. For those who don't know, I think Jake Paul should fight Paulo Costa. Now that's a fight. Personally, I don't know who Jake Paul should fight. I've literally not watched one Jake Paul fight. Saeed says, you have a very good insight in boxing, bro. Do you compete in boxing yourself, or are you just a diehard? I'm a diehard boxing fan. I was born into boxing. Plus, I've been a boxing journalist for 3 years. So I would say I'm a hardcore boxing fan. So literally, yeah, I come from a family which is born into boxing. I haven't had a chance, but I haven't had a choice but to be a hardcore boxing fan. So yeah, thanks for that. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. For those who don't know, Conrad will tell you, and those who are normally used to our live, they will tell you our lives are very different to anybody else's. We go through every single comment section, regardless how much comments there is. And we also, if you do want to, might turn on the light, if you want to get your opinions off, normally we send the link in, allow you to get your opinions off after the fight, before fights, on various topics, whatever you want to talk about. We'll send the link in and give you a chance to get your opinion off. Today we can't do that because I don't have the link, but tomorrow, if you guys are interested, we definitely can go live again, and I'll put the link in the chat, and anybody who wants to come on and get their opinions off on this platform, on this panel, they can. D Gamer says the bar main route to win is intimidation because of his size. That only works at a certain level, and he's starting to get past that level now, so he needs to make changes quick. Couldn't agree more, bro. Couldn't agree more, bro. I agree 1,000,000,000,000%. I couldn't agree more. His style is based on overwhelming his opponent with size, power, and aggression and explosion. And because of that, it means that his defense is normally not part of his game. But as you reach a certain level, that don't work. AJ is a cash cow. Cash cows never go to purse bids, because with a purse bid, you can't guarantee the cash cow A side privileges. That's why you will never see Mayweather. Exactly, that's a fact. You never see that fight go to purse bids. They don't want 25%. They don't want to give up 25%. Plus, they want to make sure they don't have a rematch clause. It's that fact. It's that rule. If AJ loses, he's not going to fight Usyk. If AJ loses a purse bid or even wins a purse bid, if he loses the fight, for example, that means there's no rematch clause. So that means AJ will basically have turned his back on 150 million or however much money he's going to make from the Fury fight. Whatever fight he's going in next, he's going to make sure there's a rematch clause just in case he has another Andy Ruiz situation. The only reason why he's in the situation was because Andy Ruiz wasn't a mandatory and he chose Andy Ruiz, whereas Usyk is a mandatory and you have to have a rematch clause. And Usyk is refusing to sign, but sign for that rematch clause. That's what's taken the fight so long, because they pushed back the purse bid so long. And Eddie Hearn has said, if you go to purse bids, the fight ain't happening. Looking forward to the Teo Kambosos fight. I think Teo destroys Kambosos, definitely, because Kambosos' enthusiasm will be to his detriment. He's going to walk onto a lot of shots because Kambosos likes to be aggressive, likes to impose himself. And based on everything I've seen in his training simulations, he's been trying to walk forward, be aggressive, be on the front foot, and bang. He's not going to do that. He's not going to be able to do that against Teofimo Lopez. Conrad Boxing says, plus AJ got an exclusive deal with Sky. The truth is, the Zone will probably win that purse bid. That's the fact. The fight will never go to purse bids. AJ's already said that. AJ's already said that. Packer fan says, it's not about fight privilege. It's about control of the show. A-side cash cows never go to purse bids because that's too much of a risk letting another promotion. Exactly. That's a fact. But in this particular situation, we're talking about a guy who doesn't want another Andy Ruiz. He doesn't want to be in a position where if he loses, he doesn't have a rematch clause. That's just the facts. The elite boxers from the 90s would wipe out AJ Wilder Fury. The heavyweight division has severely declined in quality. I disagree with that. Personally, I feel like AJ Wilder and Fury are unique in the way they fight, and it's a different era. When you go back to the 90s, the people from the era from the 70s used to slag off the 90s, and now people from the 90s are slagging off this era. Bro, we just have to enjoy it for what it is. Would people from the 90s beat the people nowadays? I can't say that because I've seen Lennox Lewis lose to fighters who I would say who are less of the quality of an AJ Wilder or Fury. I've seen Mike Tyson lose to fighters who are less of those names. So I've seen Evander Holyfield. So when you're looking at it like that, I can't say that when I've seen AJ Wilder and Fury fight at a certain level. And I'm not saying they will beat the 90s era, but I'm just saying you can't just write them off. The fight's about to start. Arkov is about to walk to the ring right. Oh, Markov, sorry, what am I talking about? Markov is about to walk to the ring right now. So about to see how this fight goes. This fight's probably going to be the most competitive fight of the night as a co-main event. He's going to be trying to impose himself, but it'd be good to see how the fight goes. But then again, they all used to take drugs in the 90s, so I get your point. I don't know if they all used to take drugs, but I know drug testing wasn't as vigorous as it is now. And I was born in 1998, so most of my knowledge of the 90s were reference. I grew up with the Klitschko's. Trust me, this era isn't too bad. Bro, me and you are singing from the same hymn sheet. Bro, I don't know about you, Saeed, but I grew up watching fights like Klitschko hug his way to point decisions against, no, not point decisions, but hug his way to decisions against David Hay and Povetkin. Watching fights like Ross Purity versus Klitschko and Klitschko versus what's that other dude? Vitali versus Shannon Briggs and all of those guys. Like, it was a fast. What was the other guy who Manuel Char versus Klitschko? Like, it was pumped up heavyweight, pumped up cruiserweights, moving up to heavyweight, fighting the Klitschko brothers, who were elite level fighters, but they just wasn't fighting anyone, and they weren't part of a era that had a lot of fighters. It would have been interesting to see if Ike Biabuchi was still around, how that would have worked out, because I feel like Ike Biabuchi would have caused the Klitschko brothers a lot of trouble. Lennox Lewis is still the best heavyweight I watched live, though. I watched Lennox Lewis live as well, and you can argue he's the best heavyweight I've watched live. He's not the best fight I've watched live, though. I think Mayweather was the best fight I've watched live. Mike Tyson was just sick. Yeah, Mike Tyson was made from a different cloth. Said says, I was born in 85, so I remember the big boys from the 90s and the early 2000s. Bro, the early 2000s and 90s was a golden era, but we can't forget that the 2000s, especially post 2000 and let's say 2005, the heavyweight division was void of talent and quality. He was in the dark ages. So he's walking to the ring. I'm literally staying alive, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll be back in like 1 second. Nelson says John L. Sullivan would clean the division out if he was around today. Personally, I would never make that comment because John L. Sullivan wasn't even 200 pounds. John L. Sullivan wasn't even, if he was fighting nowadays, he wouldn't even be a heavyweight. So I wouldn't even make that comment. I think John L. Sullivan used to fight at 178 or something like that. So he wouldn't even be a cruiserweight. But who do you think is the man to beat Canelo? I don't think anyone has a chance except Benavidez. Yeah, I think Benavidez has a good chance. If we're talking about 168, I think Benavidez is the only one. But if he fights at 175, I think Beterbiev and Bivol both have a great chance of beating him. I've always wanted to see the Andre fight, even though I think Canelo beats Andre. But I think stylistically it's a good fight for him because Andre probably is the most dynamic and elusive and quickest fighter that he would have faced ever since Erislandy Lara. So that's what's it called? That's a fight that I want to see. But I agree with you that at 168, the only fight that I can see being only fight I can see at 168 causing him trouble is Benavidez. I agree with that. He would fight light heavyweight today. Lord, yeah, he would fight at light heavyweight today. He wouldn't even be a heavyweight. Sorry. John O'Sullivan had the Ben Askren stance. It's funny. Andre was having a hard time with Williams. Canelo sleeps Andre. Personally, I don't think Andre had a hard time with Williams. I think he won every single round. I just think what you gotta understand is Williams is a different type of fighter to Canelo. Williams is a fighter who's willing to get hit to get his shots off. Canelo's not like that. So what you gotta understand is Canelo doesn't have fast feet. So Canelo's biggest weakness is the fact that he doesn't have fast feet. Everything else he does flawless. So anyone who's able to expose that is going to be someone who has quick feet and good foot movement. The difference with Williams was, whilst Andre was making distance, Andre would throw a punch, but Williams will walk through it. Canelo doesn't walk through punches. So it's a different style of fight. If you look at it, Canelo's a person who likes to avoid your shot to get his shot off. Andre doesn't stand upright for him to get that shot off. So in order for Canelo to get to Andre, he's going to have to walk him down and get in the pocket. To me, I can't see how he gets in the pocket easily. Williams got success purely and simply because he was able to walk through Andre. Canelo doesn't like to take punches. Williams fights with his face. So he's going to be like, you know what, you can hit me, but I'm going to walk through it. Canelo's not going to do that. Canelo's going to be a bit more calculated with his foot placement, and he's not going to be as aggressive. So that's why I don't think like those fights are transferable. Next comment. Nelson says, will Hearn make Canelo versus AJ? Of course not. That's never going to be a fight. I like to see Canelo versus Beterbiev though. It's not coincidence that drug testing got better and talent pool dropped immediately. That's a good point, but let's keep it real. Did drug testing get stricter? Because let's talk about the Klitschko era. Klitschko didn't get drug tested that vigorously. They didn't. They got drug tested when they wanted to get drug tested. Maybe they could have cycled off. We don't know. The same thing happened to the UFC when drug testing got involved. I don't watch UFC, but I take your word for it. You are very smart and very intelligent. Smart guy. God bless. Thank you very much, Paul. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and stay with us, Paul. We allow everybody to get their opinions off. If you want to get your opinions off, please do. I'm going to get to these last few comments in a second. I'm just going to continue watching the fight. D-Gamer says, I think that it will be interesting to see how Usyk fights against AJ. He is used to being the taller outside fighter, but now he's facts. That's what I've been saying, D-Gamer. That's what I've been saying. One thing I realized in this fight, a quick side note, is he is trying to establish the distance with the jab. And I think what I want everybody to do is watch how he throws the jab and watch how slow he brings it back to his head. I feel like if his opponent is able to throw a straight right hand strike right back, then he'll be successful. Watch how he throws the jab. He throws the jab and he brings it back quite slow. If you look at it, he doesn't bring it back to his hands very quick. And his initial movement or his evasive action is to bring his head down instead of try to block punches. Ooh, that's a good shot he landed there, though. Very good shot. And he hit a good body shot there. Personally, I think BJS is a better fighter than Andre. We got to remember that Andre has only fought bums. I would say Billy Joe Saunders, his best fight, I have to question whether he was on drugs or not. I'm sorry. Because after that fight, he got busted for a nasal spray and he's never looked the same. I have to be honest. I have to be honest and give you my fair opinion. And if you want to say Billy Joe Saunders is a better fighter, he might be, but let's talk about it realistically. What we know is that Billy Joe Saunders didn't take the Andre fight when he could have. Last month, Andre was scheduled to fight Billy Joe Saunders and he further drug. That's exactly what I'm saying, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying. Packer, so if Andre only fought bums, why did Billy Joe Saunders? That's exactly what I'm saying. Beterbiev is the true throwback fighter, definitely. Definitely. I think he looked probably B- in his last performance against Dinu, but he's still a top fighter, and I think he's gonna be in some good fights. Is Jeff coming on for the big fight? Jeff's at work, so I don't know, but he's definitely coming on tomorrow. We're definitely gonna come on tomorrow. His opponent has to slip on the inside and inside of the jab and catch him with a straight right. Straight, that's what I'm saying, D-Gamer. Me and you have the same mindset. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, because me and you have the same mindset. If you watch it, he's bringing back that jab hand very slow. He's throwing it, and his initial movement is to bring his head down instead of trying to catch a punch or slip a punch. He's bringing his head all the way down, which I feel like if he's able to slip that shot, he's going to be able to land a good counter shot. Billy Joe Saunders, in my opinion, did pretty good early rounds against Canelo, but he got the truth with. Sorry to cut off what you were saying, but the truth is, I just think Billy Joe Saunders didn't have enough offense in that fight. So he was always going to lose because he didn't have enough offense. He had to do something offensively to get Canelo's respect. Canelo, it was like a matter of time. How can you say Billy Joe Saunders ducked Andre when he's been in harder in the ring with harder punches like Lemieux? But it's not about punches. It's about style. It's about style, bro. To me, you can duck a fight if they're not the right style. I'll give you an example. What's an example of a fighter who's ducked another fighter? I can't even think of one off the head. But I've seen fighters duck other fights purely and simply because it's just either financially not viable or he's teeing off right now. He needs teeing off. He's literally trying to fight similar to what we saw Davis do, where he's trying to be a front foot, long range puncher, but he's keeping his head on the line. If you watch it, his head is very upright and his head doesn't really move. And his chin's in the sky. Very similar. Billy Joe Saunders is a con artist. And the fact that he got the Canelo fight ahead of guys like Charlo, Andre, Benavidez without me, that's a fact. That's a straight fact. 1-0 to him. Yeah, Heaney's winning this fight. Heaney's definitely winning this fight. Bro, Billy Joe Saunders was chosen by Canelo because he had a belt. And Canelo wanted to become undisputed. So, Saeed, I'll say this to you, bro. The reason why what he's saying is truth is because when Canelo was one belt away from becoming undisputed at 160, he didn't take the Andrade fight. He had WBA, IBF, and WBC belt at 160, and is one belt away from becoming undisputed, and he didn't take the Andrade fight. So I'm not saying he's scared of Andrade because I don't believe that. I definitely don't believe that. But you can't say that you want to fight Saunders because you want to be undisputed. But when you're one belt away from becoming undisputed at 160, you didn't take it. You can't say that. I can't allow you to tell me two lies, as Jeff loves to say. Saeed says, did you get punched by Andrade and Andy Lee to compare who has more power? How are you judging who has more power? Yes, who has more power? You sound like a stinking casual. Bro, that's not necessary, to be honest, but I hear what you're saying. No, trust me, I ain't no casual. You're just a fanboy. Your boy has fought bums and gonna get his soul taken by any good fight he gets in the ring. I disagree with that, Saeed. I won't lie to you. I disagree with that. I don't think Saeed is a fanboy. I just think Saeed has an opinion about different to us. But I think Billy Joe Saunders didn't take the Andrade fight, and nobody wants to take the Andrade fight. And the reason why they don't want to take the Andrade fight is because the facts are Andrade is a hard guy to beat. He's not going to look. He's very fast. He's very athletic. And let's keep it real. There's no fighter in 160 or 168 with his athleticism or his speed or his evasive and explosive fighting style. Let's settle this debate with a bare. No, wow, I'm going to skip that one. Billy Joe Saunders is not that. Billy Joe Saunders Andrade is not that unrealistic if Billy Joe Saunders doesn't retire. Lol, bare knuckle, that's funny. Andrade fought bums, but Billy has a incredible record, incredible resume. Yeah, of course he doesn't. In my opinion, I have way more boxing knowledge than yourself, Packer fan. Boy, I'm not going to get involved in what you guys are saying, but in my opinion, Saeed, in my opinion, I have to agree with Packer fan to a certain degree. I do feel like you're underestimating Andrade's ability. That's my opinion. Back to the Heaney fight. I think Heaney's winning this fight pretty comfortably, establishing distance and stuff. But I would like to see him be a bit more, defensively responsible on the comeback. He's trying to use his feet to step out of range, but he's not getting his head off the line enough. I don't think Canelo is scared of any fighter. These fighters any of these fighters, but he does have some weird picks with. Yeah, that's a fact. I want to see Eubank Jr. with a coach. He's being trained by Roy Jones right now. You already proved yourself to be casual. You can't take it back, okay? That's what makes boxing beautiful. Styles make fights, so you never know what will happen. That's a fact. Yeah, I'm gonna skip those ones. Billy Joe Saunders is still a fighter I'd watch. Yeah, it's still a fight. It's still a fight I would watch as well. Chris Eubank hits harder than Andre, like it's some actual fact. I don't know. I just think Chris Eubank puts more effort in his punches, so it looks like he hits harder. But I don't know. I mean, Andre has knocked down or knocked out everybody he's ever fought. So that has to speak for something, I guess. Yeah, he is doing a clean job. Sadly, it's very weak. Yeah, he's doing a very good job. I just want to see Conrad him get his head off the line. Bro, I 1,000,000% disagree with that. You're saying Andre is a feather puncher. I disagree with that. This guy on a single is as hard as anybody at 160, in my opinion, probably other than Golovkin. And obviously, you're going to say Lemieux, but I mean at elite level. This guy can crack. And this guy can crack. That's a fact, man. Oh, good body shot. Oh, good body shot. Good body shot. That is I'm late, but I'm behind you, Conrad. That was a good body shot. And you know what's so good about that? Because he hit that body shot on a pull out as well. He's pulling out, he got his chin out of the way, and he literally just cracked him with that body shot. That was a good body shot. And he pulled that. But one thing about him is I would love to see him improve his hand placement in terms of defensively, like using his hands, but also getting his head off the line when he's throwing a punch. He's throwing a punch, get the head off the line, instead of just throwing punches like that with his head upright and straight. Said is a guy who's never been punched in the face. I guarantee it. He does all his boxing on a call of. If this was a Sky Sports card, would be upgrade. We're going for Queen. As I said, I don't know if you heard this case, but I said Queensbury are struggling in terms of their finance. They don't have high budget, so they can't afford to be putting on great cards. Bro, I train kickboxing. What are you talking about? Again, bro, so let's see. I think I live in. Said, what I want you to tell me is why are you so down on Andre? No, in fact, Said, let me ask you a question because you spoke about Canelo and Andre. Can you explain this to me, Said, while we're here? Forget what all of the arguments and stuff. Why did Canelo not fight Andrade for undisputed? When he was one belt away from becoming undisputed, why did he not make that fight? That's all I want to know. And I'm not saying he's scared. I'm not saying he's dark. I'm not saying any of that. But why did he not make that fight? That's all I want to know, Saeed. That's all I want you to tell me. Thoughts on Tommy Fury, opponent? I looked at his Insta. He looks like a semi-legit young proper boxer that looks like he played sports growing up. Could be decent watch. The fight's already happened, Nelson. And the fight was an extremely anticlimactic fight. Both fighters were open. Both fighters were very poor defensively. And both fighters were there for the taking. But both fighters didn't have delivery mechanisms and the delivery system to land their punches. Andrade is a good fighter, but he would get slipped by Canelo because he didn't look great in his last fight. So, bro, in my opinion, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think Canelo would beat Andrade as well, and I actually think Canelo would beat Andrade. But I don't know why people just look at the last performance and think that's transferable to Canelo. I would ask you this question, D Gamer: does Williams fight like Canelo? Because if you're saying he doesn't, then you can't use that as an example. They don't fight the same, so you can't expect the same result. There's things that Liam Williams does. This might sound crazy, that he does that Canelo doesn't do. Like, for one, when Canelo fights anybody who throws offense, he's not a guy who's willing to take your punch to land his punch. So that's what Williams was relying on. Williams was relying on the fact that he's got a good chin. Canelo doesn't rely on taking, even though he's got the best chin in the sport, he doesn't like taking punches. So he's going to be very He's going to be much smarter and less reckless with his feet. And it was that reckless nature that allowed Liam Williams to position himself to get his offense off. Said can't explain anything to you about boxing. Maybe, gosh. Canelo Andrade would be built wild. Sadly, it will never happen. I know. And let's keep it real. This guy said, Canelo said he would rather fight Errol Spence than Andrade. That says all you need to say. Like, why would you not want to? If Andrade fought Golovkin and beat Golovkin, he would still rather fight Errol Spence. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. You got to ask that question to Canelo. Yes, it don't make sense why Canelo didn't fight Andrade at 160. I got to agree with that, bro. That's all my point is. That's all my point is. As I said, I firmly believe Canelo beats Andrade, but there has to be a reason why he didn't make that fight. There has to be a reason, and the easiest reason for me to explain is I don't think. You can't say there's no reward because you're going to be the first Mexican undisputed champion in the 4-belt era at middleweight. So you can't say there's no reward. There has to be another reason. And I think stylistically, he looked at that fight and go, you know what, I'd rather not make it. He saw the Eris Landidara fight. He saw the Austin Trout fight and thought, this is the guy that can emulate that style the most. And I really don't want that. And I'm going to fight someone else. That's my opinion. Fury should have knocked his opponent out. Disappointed. Should have, but he didn't. Have to say I'm very impressed with the matchmaking of Frank Warren. Yeah, I'm impressed with the matchmaking of Frank Warren and the Bogdan Dinu fight. I'm definitely impressed with that. But the card in itself has been trashed. Will Stokes. Shout out to Will Stokes. That's my guy right there. William doesn't 100% fight like Canelo, but he was catching Andrade with good shots. And if Canelo okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. Watch the fight back, D Gamer, and I believe you. Watch the fight back and go and watch it and tell me when Williams was landing his best shots. And tell me it wasn't after Andrade just landed a flurry of punches or landed a good punch. Canelo wouldn't be in that position because if you watch Canelo slip counter punch, slip counter punch. He doesn't walk forward. So there's a difference between walking someone down and using their aggression, slipping, counter punch. There's a difference because if I'm long range and I land a big punch, you can't slip. You can't slip and counter me if I'm so far. You have to use your feet as well. Whereas Williams was willing to walk forward after getting hit to get his successor. Canelo don't do that. But to think that, and I didn't say he ducked him. I'm just telling you that he didn't make the fight. Not a great style matchup. Don't know what you mean there. What's up, Conrad? How are you doing? Yeah, shout out to you. Andrade was calling out Canelo when he was at 154, and Canelo was a champion at 155 catch weight. Canelo moved up 160. Exactly, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, the card is absolutely trash. That's a fact as well. Wait, Packerman, you think Canelo is ducking Andrade? I don't even need to go over this again. My point is very clear. There has to be a reason why he didn't make that fight for undisputed. There has to be a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but there has to be a reason. Saeed, it would be good if you could give me your insight into that. Frank Warren's talking right now. Heaney had a good performance. He didn't even get to cover the Heaney performance that much, but he looked good. I felt like, as I said, I would love to see him. Will Stokes, it'd be good to get your opinion because I know you love your British fighters. I would be good to see him improve his hand skills in terms of defensively because I feel like he's got good hand skills offensively. Just with the punch variety, because you got everything good offensively, just with the punch variety, just learning how to get his head off the line with a punch. After you throw a right hand, get your head off the line. After you throw a straight left hand, get your head off the line. When you're throwing a punch or when you're defending, you use distance, but don't put your hands down. So sometimes fighters like to pull back with their hands down. Get your hand up, block the shots on the way out. I love to see him do that. He's got the great dimension. He's got good understanding of distance. So he just needs to work on those few things. Canelo walks forward, but in a different way to Andrade. I believe that he will pressure him with the feet dodge and attack Andrade and KO him. He could do that. But what you got to understand is Canelo has very slow feet. Very slow feet. The only reason why Billy Joe Saunders was getting caught was because Billy Joe Saunders has no offense. So he wasn't able to do anything offensively so he couldn't run because he wasn't getting anything offensively. The reason why Erislandy Lara and Austin Trout was doing better than Billy Joe Saunders because they had better offense. In my opinion, Andre has much better offense. You know, he's got much better punch variety. Billy Joe Saunders just really has a straight jab, a counter backhand, and sometimes he throws that check left hook, or sometimes he throws the right lead behind the glove. But he doesn't do anything from an offensive perspective that's better than Andre. Andre, who has he fought? Chris Briblick Scratch. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. He hasn't fought high level opponents like what's it called? Like, let's say a Canelo or a Golovkin, but he has fought fighters and we have seen him, and let's keep it real. Canelo's fighting Yildirim, Canelo's fighting Rocky Fielding, then why can't Canelo fight Andre? Canelo don't want to fight bums like he said. Andre is a horrible fighter. That is a load of rubbish because there's no way Yildirim is a better fighter or Rocky Fielding is a better fighter than Andre. I just don't believe that. Canelo said he'll fight Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a 147 pounder. Canelo is a 168 pounder. That is like AJ calling out Callum Smith. That is basically like AJ calling out Callum Smith. Makes no sense. What's the deal with this Heaney guy? Seems like he's on something. No, he done well. He done well in the fight. He probably just hyped. Canelo fighting Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant, who has exactly. And using the excuse, I want to be a calm on the speed, but not fighting Andre, who was a lot. Bro, Packer man, me and you are singing from the same hymn sheet right now, bro. Fury looked decent from the first round on. Was big step up from all his previous opponents. The thing is about Fury, he said he wants to take it slow, so I'm not going to hold him to a high regard right now. He wants to take it slow. What does that equal to you, Saeed? Use your brain. Oh God. Just Jack, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you're new, yeah. Fury won by 4 rounds, if that was your opinion. I thought the fight was pretty poor, but if you thought he won by 4 rounds, that's cool. D Gamer says it's gonna take a slick fighter who, but I think Andre is slick. I think Andre has got good offense, and I think Andre has got good defensive posture, and I feel like we shouldn't just look at that fight, the Liam Williams fight, because let's keep it real. He hurt Liam Williams early. I feel like he will pay you so much more respect to Canelo. Because he hurt Liam Williams early, he tried to get him out of it. But in a Canelo fight, he won't be so reckless. You got to bear that in mind. And plus, Andre hadn't fought for like maybe 10 months or something like that. That's what I'm saying, Chris. Andre is a bum compared to his resume. You're talking absolute trash. You are talking absolute trash. That is where I'm going to be like, you are talking absolute trash. Absolute trash. He is no way a bum. No way a bum. That I don't know what you're talking about. That's mandatories that Canelo didn't have to. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. That's a lie. Because if you're saying he's a mandatory, Charlo was a mandatory for 1 year and he didn't fight Charlo. So when you're talking about he had to fight mandatory, he didn't have to fight Charlo because Charlo was a mandatory for 1 year. Rocky Fielding wasn't a mandatory. Rocky Fielding, he moved up to fight Rocky Fielding. He wasn't even a full 168 champion. Callum Smith was. And to go even further, if you're saying that he's a mandatory, I don't know if you've heard of this before, Saeed, but undisputed trumps mandatory. That is a fact. Undisputed trumps mandatory. So you can say he's a mandatory, but if you're 1 fight away from becoming undisputed, undisputed trumps mandatory. Anybody in this comment section will tell you, undisputed trumps mandatory. Canelo is big though, looks juiced up. I mean, I'm not going to get into that. And Fielding had a belt. Fielding had a regular belt, not a super belt, because he was the regular world champion, not the super world champion. So there's a difference. Said either you're a pure casual or just you're using Fielding's belt as a reason for Canelo to fight him. It doesn't make sense because he fought Fielding instead of fighting Andre when he could have been undisputed. It doesn't make any sense at all. Let's just end this discussion. Both Andre and Canelo are great fighters. I think nobody's scared of each other. And I'm sure we will see this fight someday. We won't see this fight, but everything else I agree with. Correct, Canelo got slow feet, but his timing is so good. Very true. I think he would figure Andre. I agree with that. I agree with you 100%. You can't argue with a casual. You think you're going somewhere just for casual to go back to same point you already went over. Side maths ain't adding up. Side has CTE from, oh wow. Let's get our sides back. Yes, will be interesting to see what Canelo will do after the Plant fight. I think he's gonna fight Benavidez. Then I think he might actually fight Eubank or Golovkin. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because Eddie Hearn did say he wanted them to fight in the UK, and I'm thinking, what's the biggest UK fight he could have? And I'm thinking that could be Eubank. But I heard Eubank's fighting Andre, which I think will be a good fight as well. People were mad at Canelo for fighting Eugene, but that's done because he was a mandatory. But bro, you keep saying he was a mandatory, but he didn't fight Charlo. Charlo was a mandatory for 1 year, and he didn't fight Charlo. And then when the WBC did order the fight, they just upgraded him to franchise champion. So you can say that he had to fight him, but where was that energy when Charlo was the mandatory? He didn't have that same energy. Oh, I have to fight my mandatory. Well, you didn't say that when Charlo was your mandatory. You didn't say that when Derevianchenko was your mandatory. You relinquished the strap, and Derevianchenko ended up fighting Danny Jacobs for the belt. And as I said before, unification trumps mandatory. Murata was his mandatory. He relinquished the belt, and he relinquished the belt at 160, and Murata became full champion. But we've seen it. Canelo doesn't fight mandatories. This is the first time in a long time I've seen Canelo fight a mandatory. When was the last time he fought a mandatory before Yildirim? Bro, he chose that fight. He chose that fight. And even Mauricio Suleiman said he chose that fight because guess what? He could have been upgraded to franchise champion like he did against Charlo, but he didn't. Either way, Canelo fun to watch. I love the explosiveness. True. We're literally waiting for the Dubois fight now. We should be less than 15 minutes away. I'll be looking forward to see how that fight goes. I actually want to see what people have to say about the what's it called? Dubois. So put the comments in about Dubois, Shane McGuigan, what they think about him moving forward, who's a future opponent. Ideal next 3 fights for Canelo: Plant, Benavidez, Beterbiev. And by that time, Beterbiev is undisputed. I don't think so. Because Beterbiev is supposed to be fighting Joe Smith. I might give Joe Smith a good chance in that fight. For me, get someone like Eugene out of the way, then fight someone like Charlo, which is what he should have done. He should have fought Charlo when Charlo was mandatory. That's what he should have done. Has that ever actually happened in history? Undisputed versus undisputed? I wouldn't know. Not in my lifetime, I know that. But they're trying to do that with Josh Taylor and my dude Tiafimo. Canelo don't want Beterbiev smoke. That's a fact. Beterbiev is a caveman, straight up. Dubois gets smashed tonight, mark my words. Go Chi Christian, if you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share. Personally, I don't think he gets smashed tonight. I think Bogdan is too limited offensively to affect Dubois, but I want to see what he's worked on. I want to see some new, what I expect him to have different. I don't expect him to have a different mentality completely, but I expect him to have a different stance. I expect him to fight more side on. That's what I expect. I expect him to be a little bit tighter with his shots, so not so wide, but short, and a little bit more bob and weave, maybe a little bit of a catch, but I don't think he's going to be complete. I think you're going to see much more side on, jab, everything behind the jab. He's not going to throw a punch if it's not behind the jab. Try and tee the shot off, pull count and stuff like that. That's what I expect to see. Charlo, different networks. Pokemon, again, who has Andre fought, keeps saying he's a 2-weight world champion. that deserves a fight. Tell me 3 notable names, but then tell me 3 notable names that you're doing for. You can't tell me 3 notable names that Rocky Fielding for. Nice to see Dinu fans in here. Don't see DD losing this. Me neither. Will Stop says yeah. Well, yeah, but that'll be undisputed versus undisputed, not unless Teo gets that Haney work first. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Agreed, Conrad. Dubois stoppage early, in my opinion. I don't think he's gonna go for the stoppage rule. I think he's gonna go for the stoppage maybe mid to late rounds, but not early. I feel like they want to work on stuff. It's kind of counterproductive if he just goes out there and blows him out in the first round, second round. Shane McGuigan wants to see what he's going to do. Expect something similar to when Eubank fought Morrison, where he could have had him out there in the first few rounds, but he stepped up and was like, you know what, I'm gonna work on some stuff. Side, literally at this point, you are literally arguing with yourself. No, yeah, 4 to 8 rounds, maybe 4 to 8 rounds, maybe 4 to 8 rounds. I must say, Yildirim was a mandatory, and then you're gonna say, but Charlo was a mandatory, and we just gonna go in a circle because you can't answer the fact that why didn't he fight Charlo, and you can't answer the fact that undisputed trumps mandatory. Those are 2 things you can't answer. So you're saying he's mandatory, but undisputed trumps mandatory. So that's an irrelevant point. 6-round KO for me. Could see that. Thinking about Danny Dubois has good cardio from what I've seen already. I don't know, because in the Latte fight he did have to step off the pressure, but I think that was more down to him getting hurt. Bogdan Dinu is a unit, 250 pounds, only has 2 losses to Pulev and Miller. Respect to Dubois taking his fight. Facts. Bogdan Dinu is a legitimate veteran. If Dubois loses tonight, his career is over. I mean, his career would have a dark cloud over it. I won't even lie to you, but I don't see him losing. Exactly, because you're a casual side. You said, well, they're still going back and forth in the comment section. Yeah, we're going to move on to that. I got to go. I'm going to watch the fight with my family. See you soon. Shout out to you, D-Gamer. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share this video. Everybody in the live. Bogdan Dinu is walking to the ring, so let's get this. Ooh. Yeah, I see what you say. We're gonna have to have this on a different live, boys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna talk to Jeff, and I'm gonna try and get you both on a live together, and maybe let you guys debate it out. But right now it's Danny Dubois, and that's what we're here for, Danny Dubois. See this guy that's talking right now? I think his name is Darren. I've actually met this guy as well. I've actually worked alongside this guy for the what's it called? Who's announcing Dubois right now? I've actually worked alongside him for one of BT Sports fights as well. I'll be back in a bit, bro. Come on, Daniel. I mean, I hope Daniel does well, but again, I want to see what he's worked on with Shane McGuigan. Boy, everybody in the comment section, expect a different start from Daniel Dubois. That's the first thing I expect. I don't expect him to be as square. I expect him to be much more side on. So and I expect him to be have a little bit more bounce in his feet. Jesus Christ. Oh gosh, let's see what Dubois does, man. I'm looking forward to this. Dubois in a okay. I'm gonna try and literally talk through the fight, try commentate on this fight while the fight's going on. But yeah, guys in the comment section, just look and wait to see if you see a different stance from Dubois. Wait to see if you see a different style or any differences, or he just goes in there, abandons what he's been told, and he just tries to walk Dinu down and get his shots off, doesn't care about defense, just cares about offense. It'd be interesting. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Conrad, I want to see what you think of the adjustments that Dubois is gonna make. Let me know what if you think he's gonna make any adjustments. Because I'm still in two minds. Still in two minds. They always say people always revert back to type after a while, so very curious about this fight. So am I, Conrad. So am I. I think now that jeez. I'm not gonna get into the Canelo stuff. No, I'm not ignoring you. I just kind of want to focus and stick on track. Does Dinu have power? Not great power, and he doesn't have great punch variety. He's very limited with his offense. So expect a good jab, up and down fighter, but he's not gonna have a great offense. He's not gonna trouble the ball offensively. He might trouble the ball with a bit with lateral movement, though. I want to see how much improvement he's made with his foot placement. That's why I'm actually impressed with this fight, because we're going to see a lot. There's going to be rounds. He's going to go a lot of rounds. We're going to see if he's improved his defense, improved his stance, improved his approach, maybe he's just overall aggressive throwing the kitchen sink at things, or he's going to actually try and place his feet, pick his punches, not just be so explosive, have a slow game, have a fast game, have a defensive game, try to avoid punches. We're going to see what he's actually coming with. Real boxing fans want to see. Oh gosh. Blaze Philly, my bad, I had to step up. What did I miss? Nothing much, but we just been talking about Andrade versus Canelo, but we're not getting into that right now. The Dubois is literally about to fight. Nothing, the good stuff starting now. Yep, that's the truth. The good stuff starting now. Conrad, let me know what you think of what you expect to see, or what you're in fact, what everybody in the comments, let me know what you're seeing. You know, what you're seeing different in the Dubois game, if you're seeing any differences at all. I hope we see some differences. I hope he's a little bit more defensively responsible and defensively aware. Nice one. Also, if anyone in the comments want a scrap, I'll fight any of you. Being on the that's funny. Nelson, I don't think me and you weigh the same weight class. But if you did, we definitely could scrap. I got a question for the host. Did Dubois quit in his last fight? Personally, I feel like he did quit, but there's nothing wrong with putting your health first. And he's young. It was a career-threatening injury, and there's no point throwing away your career just on one fight. You can come back again. Just hopefully he's learned from it and he's defensively more responsible. Let's go. Okay, he started with that bounce. I didn't expect that, but if you look, he's already got the bounce in his feet. He's standing behind the jab. He's already got a bounce in his feet, but we don't normally see, so that's good. He never really had a bounce to his game, so he's normally a much more flat-footed fighter. He's fighting off his toes much differently. Bogdan Dinu is very upright, so he's there for the jab. He was there for that straight right hand as well. Is this an American channel? It's owned by an American, but me and Jeff work together. I'm British. Jeff, the channel's G5 for a reason. Jeff has always wanted this channel to be global, so this is why he's trying to expand. He asked me to start to do British fights, and I'm just doing this British fight today just to expand to a wider market. He just wants to do bigger things. I like everything, as I said before, Daniel Dubois, everything's behind the jab. He's being very patient with his foot placement. Go back to that bounce. Everything's behind the jab. I like that. His head's still on the line, though. I'd like to see him be a bit more responsive. Try to get his head off the line a bit more. Bogdan Dinu is an upright fighter, so that's what we're seeing. But sorry to answer your question, it's an American channel, but it's a global channel. It's owned by an American, though. But we cover not just American fights. We cover British fights, Eastern European fights, many fights. Like, this is as hardcore as it gets, to be honest. They're both trying to feint with jabs. It's a very slow-paced fight. Good jab by Daniel Dubois. Everything is behind the jab, which I like. I expected that. He's still as square as he usually is. And as the 1 minute 30's gone into the fight, he's got rid of the bounce in his feet. He's still as aggressive. He doesn't get his head off the line. He's trying to overwhelm his opponent with aggression. But the Bogdan Dinu isn't throwing anything offensively to affect Daniel Dubois. He's using his head a bit, using his head to slip a few punches. So he is trying to be a bit more defensively responsible. Normally he'll just stand up to his opponent's power and swing with them. One thing I want people to focus on is he's actually using his eyes, Daniel Dubois. When the punch is coming back at him, his eyes are open, so he's looking at what is coming back at him. Whereas normally he would just kind of swing it out and he don't care what's coming back. Good jab. Good jab, good straight right hand. He's got him on the inside again. Again, I just want to see Daniel Dubois try and be a bit more defensively aware when he throws punches, just by getting your head off the line and keeping your hands a bit higher when your opponent's throwing a punch on the inside. But Daniel Dubois is looking good, you know. He is looking good. He's looking good. I wouldn't say there's a lot of improvements, but he is moving his head. You see him slip a few punches and he slipped the jab. He's pulling his head back. It doesn't even have to be great differences, just subtle things, just a little slip, just having your eyes open, seeing a punch coming, and natural idiosyncrasy to move your head to the left or to the right, a natural evasive action of moving your head instead of just face first, that kind of fighting. Passer, Mr. Big Jiggles. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new. Who is winning the fight? Daniel Dubois won the first round. And you can see that Shane McGuigan is getting him to get his head off the line when he's moving. So I like that. One thing I like about Daniel Dubois is he is a young kid who's probably a sponge at this point. Whilst he has good confidence, this is the best point to try and teach him stuff, because he's at the point where he's just going to absorb information. So he's going to try and do it. You want to get it into him as a habit, though. Kia says, KO, I don't know if you're ahead of me. So that's why you're saying done. Oh, yeah. All done. You're ahead of me, bro. I hate that. Oh, it's over. I just saw it, KS. Yeah. It's all over, bro. All over. Fight all done. It's all over. I think the Raw Stokes did say 2 rounds. That was good. That was good for his confidence and stuff. I didn't see a lot of differences, but he got the job done. That's going to give him confidence. Put him out again. Go again. It'll be good. As I said, I want to see him fight Robert Helenius next. Marius Watt next. A fighter who's not going to just calm down and lay down. You know, a fighter who's not going to just fight like that, you know. He looked confident, he looked good. Well done, Daniel Dubois. I hope Frank Warren don't get carried away by this. Damn, indeed. First round, I saw nice jabs and 2-3 feints, hints of slickness. Yeah, he was using his head. He looked better. But it's just on to the next right now. Everybody in the comments, put down who they want to see Daniel Dubois fight next. But yeah, just a confidence boost. Facts. That's a good win. Yep. Yeah, everybody in the comments, tell me who they would like to see Daniel Dubois fight next. That'll be interesting to see who they would like to see Daniel Dubois fight next. All his siblings look alike. I find that so funny. They all look alike. I've been talking for 3 hours and my mouth is literally so tired. Should there be a Joyce rematch? Oh, no, not yet. He's got so much work to do. I think the boy needs to go out. I want to see what he says. I'm going to listen to what he says when he gets interviewed. So I might be quiet for a while. I don't know if you guys can hear when I'm listening to the fight. But yeah, those in the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I would like to see and fight the African guy. I can't pronounce his name. I think you're talking about Efia Jag, but That would be a good fight, but I think that's a bit too early. Dubois versus Gassiev would be fun. Yeah, that'd be a fun fight, but Gassiev hasn't proven enough to me at heavyweight to cause him trouble. And I feel like he might get overwhelmed with size. Trevor Bryan's a good fight, but the only thing about Trevor Bryan is I don't know how good his punch resilience is. So I don't know if he's just going to go in there and roll him over. And plus, Trevor Bryan, I heard Trevor Bryan was linked to fighting. If Dylan White fights in America and doesn't fight AJ, they're going to try and get Dylan White fighting for the regular WBA title in America. That's what I heard. That's what Dylan wants anyway. Dylan said he wants his next fight to be for a world title, obviously. And I feel like Eddie Hearn has the purse. And if Trevor Bryant's going to pick who he's going to want to fight, he's going to pick Dylan White over Danny Dubois all day. I think he's going to fight. He's got to fight a Marius Wack or something like that. But keep putting in who you guys want to see him fight. I want to hear what he has to say. But I don't know how you come off a loss and already got an interim WBA world title. It's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. This division is weird. It's so weird. I mean, I remember when people were talking about Danny Dubois like he was the best prospect in the sport, and I was like, "Nah, there's so much work for Danny Dubois to do." I'd like to see. Personally, I'm still not convinced by Shane McGuigan as a coach, though. Brazil's a good one as well, Conrad. Brazil is a good one. Should Dubois fight Charles Martin? I was going to say that, but I actually feel like he should have a fight before Charles Martin. Because Charles Martin, the southpaw stance, Charles Martin has power. Charles Martin might just be another Joe Joyce. Not in a sense that he will bang with him, he will hit with him. Plus, I think Charles Martin probably is a bit more aggressive than Joe Joyce. Danny Dubois don't talk, his dad and Frank talk for him. Want to see what Dubois has to say about and his personality. I want to see that as well, because if that will really make me think where he is and where he wants to go next. If he's calling out Joe Joyce, then boy, I don't really rate his chances moving forward. Just switch to Cabello versus Johnson. Man, Johnson looks bad out of shape. Yeah, he does. In bad shape. He does look in bad shape or sad shape. I mean, Cabello is just trying to get ring rust off. He hasn't been active in the last few years, so that's probably what he's trying to do. And Johnson's a good guy to get off. Shane, I'm about to. 1 second, let me listen to what the
Daniel,
boss is saying.
I've never seen you look so relieved. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen any fighter look so relieved at getting a win as you were.
Steve Boss is so trash, I swear to God.
It's a rough ride, you know, and I'm glad to be back.
And it showed, Daniel. How did you feel when you got in the ring? Was your head clear or were you having flashbacks? How did you feel?
I was a little thoughts going through my head, but you know, I listened to Shane what he told me, and I just stuck to instructions. Then it all happened, man. It's great.
You mentioned that, let's not mince our words. It's been a hard 6 months or 7 months for you, and I know you're strong mentally, and you avoid an awful lot of some of the things people say. But it has been a really tough time. It must be fantastic to.
I put myself on mute because I don't want the sound to affect the like, copyright stuff. So to me, the key to Danny Dubois' progression is just making sure he's active. Just making sure he's active and making sure he's fighting regularly. If he can do that, then I think with Shane McGuigan, he can achieve decent stuff. You know, I wouldn't say he's gonna go to like the elite level right now, because he's still young, he's got time, he's still green. It's going to take a while to get some of those bad habits out of his game, but he does have a high ceiling. Oh, saying I'm about to be out, cash at me at so I can do my shopping for vacation. Hit me up if you going live tomorrow, and I'll get on with you. You'd have to shout Jeff. I think Jeff does want to go live tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Dubois versus Washington. I like that fight. Maybe someone like if you get then the Cody, a good fight. He's going to be a good fight. He's going to maybe even like difficult to say, even at that Can you hear me now? Conrad, can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. If not, I'll literally just end it right here. I assume you still can't hear me. Oh, you can hear me. You can hear me now. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So literally, I just had to jump out and jump back in. But I'm glad you guys can hear me. But yeah, I don't even know what you last heard. It'd be good to let me know what you last heard. But yeah, I mean, I was saying, I think I would. 1 second. Okay, thank you. Black Star Sport, shout out to you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. You've already subscribed. I know you are definitely not new. No Jeff today, Black Star. You've made me cover the Dubois fight, but it's all good. The Dubois fight's just done. Fury would destroy AJ. We're not gonna go in that today. I don't have the strength. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We do talk about those topics all the time. But yeah, personally, I would love to see Dubois fight the likes of a Brazil. The likes of Marius Wack, Robert Helenius, even a David Price. I'd actually like to see him fight a David Price. That would be a good fight. Him versus David Price would be a good fight. Who else is there? Yeah, man, those are the guys. Probably, if I had a main pick, now I just thought of it, I'd probably say David Price. You were talking about the Bois opponents when you sound, yeah, I know. I don't know why that happened. I literally have no idea, but yeah, that's how it goes. No, bro, let's keep it real, bro. David Price has a great chin. David Price has very good lateral movement. David Price just don't have great offense. So I feel like David Price will test Dubois' foot movement. He's a guy he fights. If you look at it, who's the closest fighter to Joe Joyce in terms of fights behind the jab, quite robotic? I'd probably say David Price. Kind of surprised Dubois wouldn't want to get at least a couple rounds, but I'm very impressed still. I don't think he tried to knock him out. I just thought the punch was just so sweet that it knocked him out clean. Yeah, Takam is a good one as well. Takam is a good one. You put the pressure on Takam. Definitely put the pressure on Takam. Or even like a... Why did I say David Price? Not David Price. Huey Fury. You know, I don't know why I said David Price. I am definitely on crack raw sauce. I mean, Huey Fury. Literally, I just thought tall, upright. I meant Huey Fury. Bro, you're not gonna kill me. Don't click this. I meant Huey Fury, not David Price. Huey Fury. Huey Fury would be my best pick. Huey Fury, not David Price. Sorry. Cut that out completely. I know you guys are probably grilling me right now. I don't even want to read what Syed has to say. David Price is good. Don't get me wrong. Bro, I meant to say Huey Fury, not David Price. Thank you very much, Will Stokes. I don't know what I was smoking. I meant to say Huey Fury. I'm literally looking at two guys who are tall and big. I don't know what I was talking about, bro. I meant to say Huey Fury. Yeah, bro. I was on drugs. Haha, makes sense. Yeah, well, I think Huey Fury would be a good style. But it could be, I wouldn't say right now. But I feel like maybe if you fought a Robert Helenius or a Dominic Brazil fighting a Huey Fury, not Tyson Fury, Huey Fury would be a good style. You know, it would get him working on his foot placement, his engine. He can't just rely on big punches because Huey Fury's got a good chin and he has to have good offense, but he also has to time and place his punches because Huey Fury is quite slick, but he also has to be able to avoid the jab straight right hand, which he couldn't avoid against Joe Joyce. So if he hasn't improved against Joe Joyce, we would see it in that fight. If he has improved, we will see it in that fight. Who won, I assume you're going to say. If you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and no the what one. Joe Joyce, I still don't want to see. I want to see Joe Joyce fight Usyk. Mano Char is #1. Yeah, man, I think Mano Char is WBA. I don't know what's going on with all of that stuff. Mano Char has been regular champion for so long. It's been unbelievable. Agreed. I thought you were talking about next fight. No, not next fight. I said my next fight would be a Robert Helenius, a Marius Swap. Someone who's just gonna be offensive as well. He's gonna make him work on his defense. I think the reason why I say Carlos Takam, I feel like Carlos Takam is quite small. So after a while, he's just gonna get overdone and outdone. You know who else would be a decent fight? Maybe even an Oscar Rivas. Usyk gonna school AJ next, and Usyk gonna fight AJ next to school him. Wouldn't be surprised. Dubois versus Bermane, I definitely don't want to see that. Dubois versus Brian, maybe that might be a good fight, but then where is Brian right now?
If he gets in with Usyk, he's got to win. And then let's get this big fight on that everybody wants to see. Now,
so Frank Warren does seem like he wants to make the rematch, so we'll see. But I know for a fact Usyk's gonna beat Joe Joyce. So well, not for a fact, but I firmly believe he's gonna win. We don't want that snooze fest. What did Pastor say? Oh, the Dubois versus Bermane. That is gonna be a crap fight. One second now, I'm literally just checking something on the channel. So, guys, I'm literally about to jump off live, but thanks for everybody jumping in. I want to give a massive shout out to Conrad because he literally helped me all the way through this. So thank you very much, Conrad. This is the first time I've done without Jeff. So shout out to everybody. This is how we're gonna do it. Jeff wants us to cover every British show. So obviously we cover the American show, we cover the American fights. We do post reactions for American fight, American, British, Eastern European, whatever fights. But he actually wants me to cover the British fights now. So I'm gonna be doing that moving forward. I want to thank everybody in the comment section. Everybody hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Those who are new, this is how we do it. If you have an opinion, we allow you to get your opinion off. Normally, we send the link out there, give you a chance to jump on, get your opinion off. We can't do that today, unfortunately, but we will do it. If I'll speak to Jeff and we'll see if we can do it tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for everybody. Big shout out to everybody. I'm gonna go through these comments and then I might do a quick roll call and then from there we'll just wrap it up. That is what why I said Hammer. He's a yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't know why that's happened, but I'm just gonna do it right there.